again. There are no stupid questions. Please, of course, we already know that we are focused on the things some of us have raised in the past. I mean, we are taking them one at a time. So if there are new things, of course, we would subsequently take care of those ones. So this is my slide. I'm going to put it on projection. Intermittently, I will be asking if you can see my screen, if you can hear me. I will follow any questions just to be sure that no one is left behind. So please, can we see my screen or my projected screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So today, of course, we already have everything we need. So, but just talk us through this. I'll be back to this slide. I'll be back to those previous ones. So the goal of the workshop today is to have, some basic understanding, not really basic though, but do not worry. There are quite a number of people that have reached out, like Wale, like Gloria, about 5 or more actually, that their concern is around the Power Query. So those people are like ahead of some people that are just having to understand. But do not worry. Whatever the case is, we will start Power BI later from basic to advanced. We will start from the beginning. But in order to take care of those, concerns, we want to ensure I'm able to answer them on time since it has to do with what they currently do at work. But my point is that to everyone on this call, you would be at the end of the day be fine. Now, so understand Power Query, better appreciation of Power Query, everything. Not really everything today. We'll start from Excel. I'll just show some things in Excel. We'll talk about the functionality of what we want to use in Excel that is also available in Power BI. If you see this, you'll see that there's Excel, there's Power BI logo, but there's something they have in common, which is Power Query. All right, so we'll see that shortly. Now, so today, the area of focus for today is we will see how we can get data from pictures. There could be some pictures that have data. How will you be able to extract or get those data out of the picture? We would see that, of course, using Microsoft Excel, Power Query in Excel. As it connecting to data source through get and transform command. I will talk about this when we start the practical session. This is just to go through the slide so that we know what we want to do today or our focus today. We will see what we call append queries. I will talk about that. I will explain that in details. Of course, we want to clean dirty data. You'll see how data can be very dirty and how not to spend too much time trying to clean the data when you can just leverage on Power Query editor that can help you. 3 people requested for how they can use calculated column and of course conditional columns. These are still basic things. We will show it in a basic way. Also, we would also show some lines of code. Don't worry about code. You will now realize when we do it practically that those code are actually English. It's about you understanding it. It's about whoever is taking you, breaking it down to let you understand it in a logical sense. Then we will create something. We may not show maybe pivot table today, because this guy can deliver more than pivot table. That's why I dropped a message even this morning to say it is very important. The reason is so that nobody is restricted. Everyone can have access to this. Of course, everyone too can have access to this, but you will see as we proceed that it's better with that. So let me come back here. It's very important that I start from this so that I can explain some things to us about Power Query. Now, this slide is self-explanatory, but of course, I will still have to break it down in case it's also not clear to anyone on this call. The most important thing is that when we join the class, whatever thing we have, maybe concerns, I really would want that you are not leaving the class without gaining a lot of things, or at least one thing. Now, what is Power Query? So Power Query is an engine. I will use layman language as usual. An environment, so to say, that helps you to clean your data. something that Excel in its ordinary sense cannot do, right? So there is this interface that Microsoft put inside Excel, is also in Power BI, that allows you to do massive cleaning. That, I mean, makes it easy for you instead of spending, just to put the time, let's say something you will have spent 20 hours to do. With Power Query, you can just spend maybe 1 hour or less to do that. So I call it transformational kitchen. Just like you have a kitchen in our houses, right? Where you know that that's where we wash our plate, we tidy up the spoon, kitchen utensils are there to cut something, to erase, just to do all of those things, wipe and all of that. So that is what we call Power Query. So it's a transformational kitchen that is in Excel, and it's also in Power BI. In case you are on this call and you're wondering what is Power BI, you will get to know it, don't worry. It's just a name of an application. Just like Excel, Microsoft Excel is also a name for this app. Now, you can see easiest way to connect. Connect means you need to leverage or need to connect to something. Then extract means it will bring that thing back to you. When it brings what you want to clean, then you'll be able to clean it. Transformation just means you'll be able to clean it. When that thing is now properly cleaned, it is nice that you clean very well, like then you can now load the data. This range of sources means there are different data sources. Excel, Microsoft Excel, which is popular, everywhere around the world, the most popular spreadsheet is one of the data sources. What do I mean by data source? Where you keep data. Information could be on Excel. Information could be on PDF. Information could be on picture. Information could be on the server. It could be on the website. As a matter of the fact, we are going to connect to website in the class because someone also requested. I remember now. Don't want to forget that. Now, so it's all about connectivity, connecting to data that is somewhere. It could be in Excel, in a picture, on the net. And using this to clean that. Can you see no code experience? Or with an easy to use. Though, don't think there are no code, but Microsoft has done it in such a way that even if you don't know how to code, you can use it to do your work. But all this code thing, you would also understand that it's English language, that if you calm down and be able to process it, you would understand it. Please, can we still hear me? I hope my internet is fine. I hope my screen is fine. Can I proceed, please? Can I proceed,
Yes,
please?
we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So we have phases, just like maybe you say steps or stages, whatever this means to you. So you need to connect, like go and you want to, I use this often. Let's say you want to cook my mind. All right. For everyone listening to this in around the world, yeah, we are using our local language here. So let's say you want to make maima, right? And you need to go and get beans. You don't have beans, so you need to go and get it in the market. So when you get it, that is the meaning of connect. When you get it, then you can't just put it on your gas to start cooking. You want to ensure that stones or some things, you want to pick the beans and pick some things that are not supposed to be part of it. After that, so this one is saying you can now combine whatever is similar, then you load it. As you proceed, we understand. At the end of the day, if you need this slide, I could share with you. It just some point, not really a detailed slide. It's just to show you how what is connect is to say you are connecting to data in the cloud or a service or locally. What do I mean? It could be on the website. It could be like on your OneDrive, it will be on the on Excel or PDF. We'll connect to PDF also as requested by some people. So this is just to let you know, can you see transform is shape the data to meet your need? It's all about cleaning the data. At the end of the day, there's what we call combine. Combine simply means if you have multiple tables that instead of doing them, can you bring them together as one? Like combine, just like it means join, right? So the word combine is bring them together, then you can then load them. So I may jump the slide because it's becoming everyday thing, but I'm sure we already know me, so I wouldn't. So I think that's all about the slide. Then we would start. We already have the data set that we need to use. We dropped it on WhatsApp, and I'm sure we've been dropping it like almost all the time. So I already opened the folder. If you have a folder, it is zipped. I've already put information, a lot of information that it is zipped. You can unzip or extract or copy out. But you need to do something, because if we are going to, at the end of the day, load this into Power BI and it's passworded, you need to ensure that the data that you're bringing in is without restriction. That means no password around it. So in case you're wondering what am I talking about, if you have extracted the data, right, you would see that you cannot open some. Like I said, you have some files that you can't open. So what is the password to open those ones? I want to call the password out now. And the password is 12. Okay, just a moment. Good. 12AB. What do I mean? Let me type it here so that you can see it. I already opened Excel interface, so I'm just going to type it somewhere. Let me zoom this closer to us. So the password to open those ones, 12, right? And AB in uppercase. This is the password to open. When you open those Excel or those ones that are passworded, this is what you need to supply to open them. Can I proceed, please? This is me confirming that are we fine? Can I proceed? I've given the password now. I hope we can proceed. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I'll take that as we can proceed. Let me minimize this. So this is the folder we if there is noise around you, you can always mute. If you have questions, don't worry, you can drop it. A lot of people will come attention to that. Isaac has always been helping us and a lot of people on this call. Now, if you open the folder, you would see some of these things. Let me know if you're on the same page so that we can just kickstart what we need to do. Please, can I proceed?
Yes,
Just
you're on
to
the same
say,
page.
okay, thank you. Good. Okay. Now, the first thing we want to look at to make it simple, there is this image that I call Lagos Local Government Population, or POP. Now, I'm opening the image. If you open the image, you would see this. This is what you'll find in it. Now, so I'm going to close the image. So let's say that this is what, sorry, I'm saying, is it midday, right? Don't worry. Is there questions for me? You are free, please. Joanne, sorry, is there a question, please? Okay, thank you. Good. Now, I'll open this again in case someone missed that. If you open it, this is what you will find in the picture, which shows you things that like this, all right? So then I want to close it. Just to be sure, you can see that this is recorded. Of course, it's going to be made available afterwards. Now, I'll minimize this. I'll go to, how will I be able to analyze this or bring out the data? It's a picture. How will I be able to bring it out? Now, I'll go to Excel. I open my, launch my Excel. In case you're wondering, my own is dark, don't worry, it's just a color. Nothing special, like it's just the color. Now, remember our version stuff. If you go to the back, you go to account in order to know the version of Excel you're running. And you can see I'm running Office 365. That's what I am running. Now, Microsoft has not enabled, or let me say, this new feature of getting images into Excel is not available for some other versions, right? I think it's only available. I don't know if it is available for 2019. I don't know if it's available for 2021, but I'm sure it's available for 365. Now, I want to bring that image that I just showed us. And if you also check the folder, I put some more images. It is intentional. Reason is so that on your own, you can also practice. I put some more images. It is deliberate so that you can also practice with this on your own. Now, I will say, I want to bring this into Excel. Where will I go? I would look for a tab called Data tab. So when I click on Data tab, there is a corner that you'll see Get and Transform. All right. For some versions, you won't see Get and Transform, right? Of course, 2019 will see Get and Transform. 2021 will see Get and Transform. 365 will see Get and Transform. So 2016 will see New Queries, something like that. Now, I want to bring something. If I want to, so this is that get data that you saw on the slide that I wrote get and transform data. So this is a command called get data. And if you look at the screen tip, you can see easily discover, connect, combine data from multiple sources and shape and refine it to meet your needs. So if I drop down this get data, it's going to ask me that, okay, where are you getting the data from? Is it coming from file? If it's coming from file, these are the files that are accessible. You can see, is it from Excel? Is it from text and CSV? Is it XML? Is it from JSON? Is it from PDF? That means if you have PDF, you have data in PDF, maybe your account statement, bank statement or anything, and you need to do the analysis. You want to know total credit, total, whatever it is, you can get it and clean it. All right. So, but where I am going to is picture. I could search, but Power BI is so lovely because this is Power Query environment. It's going to take us to Power Query environment. So now, if you look at this, this is saying, is it coming from text? If I put my cursor, is it from website? But take a look, you can see something like camera. This is already showing that is it from picture. Now, if I drop down this is called filter or drop down button. It's already asking me that, okay, is it coming from a file or you have copied the picture to your clipboard? I didn't copy anything to my clipboard. If I've copied that picture to my clipboard, this would have been clickable for me to just paste. Can I proceed, please? And I hope I'm not too fast. Can I proceed, please?
Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you. So I'll click on from file since I have it in my document. Now I will go to whichever document. I think it's in this one. And I can see all those pictures. Like I said, I put many there so that you can leverage on it, right? So I could pick anyone. Now, when I choose this, I double click or click once and open, but I want to double click as a shortcut. Now, immediately I double click, it's going to be, you can see my cursor. Can you see something that's open to my right, saying data from picture? Can we see the right side, right? So that I can proceed. Can you see this, please? I'm sure we can, right? Okay. Now, it's giving me a preview of what is in that picture. And it's telling me to review it. You'll see there is insert. Do you want to insert the data directly now? Or you want to review? You can see. Can I proceed, please?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you look at the picture, sorry?
Please, I'm using a MacBook and I'm not, the only thing that is coming out is from HTML, from text, and then new database query. I'm not seeing the one with the camera here.
Okay, what version of Excel are you running? You know, I talk about it before this.
Okay, I don't know.
You want to so there is, don't worry, that's why I say we should all have Power BI installed so that we won't really dwell much in Excel environment. So but just follow, don't worry. At the end of the day, you understand. Now, when you saw the so when you saw the picture, this number was not, it was supposed to be on its own. 1, 2. So you can see it. I could load it up and now begin to do whatever it is I want to do. Or I could just review one by one. So if I click on review, for instance, it said we found 11 items that require you to review. That if you leave it this way, Alimosho will come with 1. I could say, oh, no, I just want to do this, right? Maybe I don't need this. If you, whatever you want, you can actually insert the data and now come and do the separation, right? Maybe I should do that. But this is easy for anyone to understand. So let's say, no, 1 should not be part of it. I'll say, okay, move to, can you see, move to the next one. As I'm moving, it's also dropping. Let's say, no. 2, no. Ajeromi should not be Aj space, like Ajero, something. I'm sure we understand this, so I'm just going to say, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Ife. So this is supposed to be I. Can you see what I'm trying to do? So this is supposed to be I. And this one, there shouldn't be space between Ajerom I. And I'm going to say, oh, no. This is not supposed to be. Then I'm moving to the next one. You can see, I just click on this one. You say, this money is not supposed to, in case you're wondering what am I doing, maybe I should go back to the folder so that you have an understanding. This is the picture. So this is supposed to be population. This is supposed to be the local government. So that's exactly what I'm now trying to let Excel knows, that the way you have imported the data is not the way it should be. All right. So I'll minimize this. Then I'm going to say, okay, no. This one is not 0.2, it's the money. So I guess I could just say, no, there shouldn't be dot. I could put whatever I want, but for now, let's say this is it, and that there is no dot. I could move to the next one that, no. It's just like it discovered that they didn't arrange well, and it's asking you to do the right thing. So before you load or insert the data. So I could say, okay, no, this should not be 4 points something. Than that this is not 1.2 Amu Odofin, no. If I accept it this way, I will still have to now clean it, but I'm trying to do this so that it can reduce number of things I have to do when I load the data, when I insert it. So this shouldn't be 20 virtue. So you can see, it said everything there. I can say, okay, accept. No item required.
Sorry, sir. So if the data is a lot, like if there's plenty data, is this how we're going to do it one by one?
No, you might not, you don't have to. You can insert it and then come and do that here. You won't have to do it one by one. You know that we did, okay, just a moment. Let me say I'm not, okay. No, let's just say I want to insert this for now. And I'm just going to say, I will answer your question. Yes, you are responsible for validating accuracy of the data. I say, yes, I'm fine. Now, let me ignore this, right? And answer you. Let's say I'm picking it and I said it's coming from picture. Let's still say it's the same picture. I'll just say, don't worry, I'm fine, insert anyway. Now, when I have it this way, then I will have to clean it properly. You know that 1, 2, 3, all of this is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like maybe the serial number or something or whatever rank. Now, and you can see that this column is not supposed to, this header is supposed to be on this one. I hope the person that asks for this, you leave your mic on. So I could say, okay, the first thing is that I don't even need this blank column. All right.
Okay.
Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
So I could delete this. Can you see? I could say this is supposed to be population. Because it's a lot, I don't want to be doing what I just did, population, right? And say enter. Now I have this. I can say, okay, this one is not even supposed to be this way. I could say, okay, you know what? Let me even insert a column. What I'm showing, you can do it any way, as long as you have the result. I can then use text to column, or I want to use flash fill. If in case you have not done that before, it's an opportunity to do this. I mean, so meaning that what is the meaning of flash fill? I want Excel to help me, but Excel would say that, okay, if I'm going to help you, right? Can you see where my cursor is first? Just to be able to know if
yes.
Yes, can you read what is there?
It says automatically fill in values. Enter a couple of examples you want as output and keep the active cell in the column you want filled in.
Good. So it's asking you that I will automatically help you, but you need to enter a couple of samples. When I see the pattern, I will help you do the rest. So I can say, okay, there are many ways, right? I can say, okay, let me say this is Ali Mosho. No space, Ali Mosho. I'll say enter. I will say Ajero. Ajeromi. Ajero. Don't mind me. Dash Ifelodun. Enter. Oshofe. Now he has not he didn't understand what I'm trying to do, right? Motion. Then I enter. Except how come you didn't understand? Now I could look at this, Control E, right? Is the shortcut. If I say Control E, can you see what it has done?
Yes.
Well, it couldn't do, there are some that it didn't understand. But what you are seeing now is that it has helped me to do some based on the pattern. If I've continued with the pattern, maybe it would have helped me in case you're wondering that he has done it. But because I didn't continue, because the thing was not in order, all these things were not properly arranged. But he was able to, based on what I have typed previously, he was able to understand some of them, right? But if I've consistently typed like maybe 5 or 6, Excel is that smart. It will have understood the pattern and help me do it. Let me know if this answers you in a way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So I'll then say Osho the solo. Whatever one, so it will just be minimal. That can you see? Immediately I type that, you also feel something for me. Then I can say, no, this one is Etiosa. So I can complete this method, Etiosa, and that's it. So everything should be fine now. I hope this answers you correctly. Of course, you know that I do not need this column. I don't need this column. So I'm going to take this out. If I take this out, right, that, okay, I don't need you. Then what if I need the serial number? Let me zoom this closer in case. What if I need the serial number? All I need to do is to say, watch how I'm going to type this. That's why I'm bringing it closer. You know what? Let me move everything and say, I want everyone to be able to see this. Control Shift down. Control X. I just want to move it closer to everyone in the middle. Control V. Now, I want to put that serial number. I can then say 1, then I'll say enter. I'll type 2. Excel is this smart. I can highlight both of this, put my cursor here and double click. Then I have the number from top to bottom. You can see them.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then I can then say this is the LGA, right? LGA. Then I'm fine. So everyone, I hope we are fine. I hope, of course, you know what I can do. I would also anywhere that there is dot, which is not supposed to be. Okay, you know what? Let's fully clean this. It's fine. Let's enter. You know, in the previous slide, we said number must go to the right. So this confirmed that this is. So I will check all of those ones that are having something that is not supposed to be. Though I could also still do flash fill to type, and it's going to just follow the sequence and not put all of these dots for me. Because what if you have 500 transactions, like 500 rows? Will you be doing this one by one? No, you do not have to do this one at a time, please. You can leverage on the AI that is already in Excel and you'll be fine. So if this is supposed to be which is actually number, and I want decimal, like I want, apologies, you can't see decimal in number of people. So I want comma. So I could highlight this column. Let me remove. I could highlight this column and said, this entire column, where will I go to do this? I'll go home. So there's a shortcut to everything. Then I'll say there is a group called number formatting. So I could drop this down and say, okay, the information that is in this column, right, is what? It is not, in case you are seeing this, it's just showing the header. Maybe I should just select the header for you. Let me select from it, control arrow down. The information that is in this place is not, it is, can you see, it's not currency, it's not this, but it is what? Is number. If I put number, but I can't see, can population be this one? I could say no, the decimal place should not exist. Can you see decrease decimal? I could just say no decimal for this. If I also want to put comma to separate 1 million so that it can be readable, take a look. Then I can say no, don't put decimal place. But when people are reading, it should be readable. That means Alimosho 11 million. So I hope this makes sense so that we can move to the next one. Any question on this, please?
It's fine.
Okay.
No questions, sir.
Thank you. Do you think this makes sense? Do you think what Microsoft has done with this makes a lot of sense?
Definitely.
Yeah, being able to get data from picture is a lot of sense, I tell you. So that is that. Now, the next thing I want to show, in order to make everything simple, I don't need this, right? Control N. Then I want to delete this one. Don't save. I want to get to make it easy, right? Okay, let me come to ask. I hope that we have downloaded Power BI Desktop so that everyone is carried along. If you have downloaded Power BI Desktop, you can raise your hand just to see the number of people so that no one is left behind. So that if I should use something that will make life easy for everyone. I'm waiting for others, please. If on this call and you have downloaded, but I will show it from Excel first so that it will. Okay, I can see 6 hands. Okay. I hope everyone is following. We can lower our hands. So I'll take it as everyone has, right? So we can lower our hands. Thank you for that. I hope this is not a message I need to attend to. So thank you. This is a response. So thanks. Now, let me use Excel first. We can lower our hands first, except you have questions. Please, say you can lower your hand, except you have a question. Or should I help you lower it? Good. Thank you so much for that. Now, let me zoom this out. Some people did not know, or a lot of people, right, did not know that there is Power Query in Excel. Now, Power BI or Microsoft, let me put it that way, first introduced Power BI within Microsoft Excel. Now, what do we mean? We have like 4 powers that used to be in Excel. If I go to data, right, this data tab, this that you're seeing is Power Query side. Don't worry. What I mean by Power Query, you understand this shortly. So this is for Power Query. Now, it's one of the powers. If you take a look at my screen, though you do not have something like this for some people, there is Power Pivots, all right, which is the modeling part. Don't also worry, if I'm still speaking grammar, you will understand as we proceed. For people that have used Power BI before, they will know that there is what we call Power Query Editor. They know that there's what we call modeling. When you get the data, when you have cleaned the data in Power Query and you load it, you want to model. They also know that there is what we call reports, where you create the report, which is the place you do your visualization. So those things were first introduced within Excel. So this Power Pivot is the one that you do query, where you calculate your measure, when you are creating measure. For people with zero knowledge, don't worry. Everything I'm saying today, you would understand. Now, so this is the second one. Then there's what we call, if I go back to data, right? you would see that this is, for some people that are using 2016, you will see new query here. You see new query or pack, you won't see pack, you see new query instead of get and transform. Now, if I go to insert, I would see 3D map. It used to be power map, right? If you have locations, name of country, name of state, city, when you go on this, Power BI, Excel will visualize it on the map for you. So people that have been using Power BI, they already know that there is map visual in Power BI environment. My point is that Power BI introduced this first in Excel. In order to show this to you, let me say customize ribbon, just to show something for you. Now, I will go to add-ins. It's just to show some people on this call. So when I click on add-ins, can you see some things here? Power Pivot for Excel, Power Map for Excel, Power View. For some of you, you would have Power View. But they've disabled Power View because of Power View is what we use to visualize then, just like Power BI desktop report page. So Power View is for visualization of different charts. Power Map is for any data that has name of country or address. Power Pivot is to model, whereas Power Query is to do the cleaning, which we call ETL part. So I'm going to just cancel this. Now, let's go straight. So I want to get something from the browser. I will go to my browser right now. I just clicked. Let me type Nigerian population. Nigerian population by state. Nigeria population by state. State, right? Enter. Please, I hope we are following. Can I proceed, please?
Yes, please.
Please, can I proceed? Can we still hear me? Just to be sure. Okay,
Yes,
thank
please.
you. Now, you will see that on this website, there is Nigerian population. There is this table that has the information about Nigerian population. And I want to, so my line manager wants me to actually create a report based on this. Maybe they want to use this for marketing strategy, right? So that they will know the state to concentrate more and all of that. They just want to know so that it will help them in strategically making business decisions as for marketing or sales. I mean, in creating visibilities and all of, okay, where do we need to have more branches so that we can reach more people? So they need you to do that analysis. You don't need to stress yourself. Look for Nigerian population by, I mean, if it is a local government, just like I showed in the, I also type local government, Lagos local government. So that also gives you an idea of the population that you can make business sense. Now, what you need to do is this URL, we are going to need it, right? I'll just click and say Control C, but I don't want to do that. I want to right click so that everyone sees that I actually copy it. Good. I will go back to my Excel and say Excel. It said yes. I need something from the web. Can you help me? Excel, of course, I will help you. If you need me to help you, click on Data tab. Okay, I just did. So Excel said, what do you want? I said I want to get it from the web. If I drop down Get Data, if I click on File, I'm not seeing web. If I click on Database, if I click on Azure, if I click on this, if I click other online services, if I click on from other sources, I will also see web. My point is Excel or Microsoft is smart. They always position one thing in several places. So anywhere you are picking from is still the same thing. All right. In order to use the shortcuts, I could just say it's coming from the web. When I click right now, an interface will show, like a dialog box will show to say, okay, give me the URL of where you want me to go to. Can we see this? Can I proceed? Now I'm going to paste the URL that I copied. I'll paste it here. I could right click and paste or do Control V as a shortcut. And I'm going to say, okay, remember, this is coming from a website, which is like a live data. This is coming from this website, right? And I want to see it in my own Excel because I want to use it to analyze something. I'm going to say, okay. Now it's going to show it is connecting to that online source. It will go to that website. All the tables, all the information that are on Tabula or table that you can see or whatever the code, it will bring it to me. It's trying to load. This is not on my desktop. Excel that is seated on my desktop is trying to connect to an online source. So that's why it's taking this time. But you will see shortly. Are there people that are doing this at the same time? If you are doing the same thing, you could signify just to, no, I mean, not, okay, let me come and take it. Are there people that are doing this or we're just following, just to get your response? Oh,
I'm
please,
following
can
you.
some, okay, thank you.
I think we're just following.
Okay, it's fine. I hope this will load on time. We have a lot, but I'm starting from the basic because I'm still going to write some things for based on request. How this is very fast. I don't want to cancel this. If someone is doing this, it's possible you have seen it before me. Maybe I could just demonstrate this in Power BI desktop if that. Okay, so permit me to cancel for now, but just know that it's going to load this, right? And we'll be able to see all the information. Okay, good. I'm happy. It has loaded. So if this is what you could find. If there are many other tables, right? You can say, help me to be able to select multiple tables. Then it's going to show this one so that you can check all the tables. But take a look. This is one of the things we saw. We saw a document. This doesn't look like what we saw that I need. Let me see what is on this table. Oh, this table looks like what I need. Then, if you look at the bottom right, you'll see load, transform data, and cancel. Now, if I do not check this box, this will not be clickable. So I have to say, okay, this is what I need. Now, I'm not going to load it. We need to ensure that this is fit for purpose. Then we need to transform. If I click on transform data, another interface will open. That interface is what we call Power Query Editor. Now, I will just go ahead and click on transform data. Something would open. If you look at this side, you're already seeing that it's showing Power Query Editor. So this Power Query Editor from the slide from the beginning, that is where I called transformational kitchen of Power BI. Now, everything that you saw, let me minimize this, on that table in the website, like that table is what you are actually seeing now. Then, let's say I don't need something. For instance, maybe I don't need this one. Maybe this is what we want. Or maybe we don't even need this 2019. This is what we want. I'm just saying, maybe we need 2019 and we really don't need 2006. How will I be able to remove this column? Take a look at the top. Let me introduce this environment to us because we are going to do a lot of things in this environment today. Now, to my right, you will see query settings, properties. This is showing the name of the table. I can say, no, this table should not be table. Oh, table does not make sense. It is not readable. I can click in this place and say, no, instead of table O, call it Nigerian population, POP, or population. Then when I hit enter button, the name would change. because I have renamed it. Anyone that sees this will be able to have an idea of what this means instead of table A. Now, if you look under, you will see all properties, then you see applied steps. This place is where you have the record of everything you do. The meaning of applied steps simply means the steps you applied would be recorded here. Anything you try to do on this table has 4 columns. If you look at where my cursor is now, 4 columns and 38 rows. So it's not saying that anything you do on this table would be recorded by this side. And I said, okay. To start with, let's say I don't need this column. How will I be able to remove it? If you look at the top, you would have, from the top, you can see File, Home tab, Transform tab, Add Columns View. And you can see Close and Load, Refresh. All of these are the commands or instruments that you have in your kitchen that you can use to do one thing or the other. Since I don't need this column, I'm sure that someone can see remove rows, remove columns. I will need someone to respond. If I don't need a column, what do you think? Which one do you think will help me? Please, I need a response to be sure.
Remove
we are
column.
following.
Remove
Thank
column.
you.
Remove column.
Remove
Good.
column.
I want to also let you know something. This is very important. Maybe this is the first time some people that are using Power BI will be hearing this. We have choose columns, and we also have remove columns. If I use remove column to remove this column, in the future, this column could come back. Somebody will say, how come? I remove it. If I use remove column to remove this, if from the website, again, they populated whatever, all right, this column could show. But if I use choose columns, if I go with choose columns, for instance, it will give me all the list of columns that are here. So if I say, I do not want all of them, let's say I only want the rank for 2019, and I need the states, and I need 2019, and I say, okay, I can tell you categorically that no matter what the website does by maybe adding the column from there, I'm just trying to, it's not going to show a cane here. This is just to let you know that they are not the same thing, though they look the same thing. They are not the same thing. But let me remove the apply step. How will I remove the apply step, or what does it mean? There is no Control Z and Control Y in this place, just like in Excel that you have Control Z or undo or redo. No, it is the apply steps here that act as undo and redo. That means what I just did now, I've removed a column. In case I need that column, how will I bring it back? I need to put my cursor on this one. It's going to turn to red. When I click on it, I have it back. Now, if I want to go with remove columns will say, okay, I'm not, you can see remove, it's not giving me options to select because I'm not choosing, I want to remove. So if I say remove columns, it will remove this particular one. If I say remove other columns, it's going to remove others and leave this. But if I remove column, it's also going to show that I have removed columns. But the difference is just that in the future, right? If they updated the website and all of that, this column could actually reflect back. But if I use choose columns, whatever they do on that website or from the data source, let me put it that way, you will not see the column show up. Let's say I want to, so I mean, you already understand the difference between remove column and choose in that technical way, but I should put it that way. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear because we have a lot of things to do. This is, someone asked me, how will I be able to get data from picture? I have answered that. Some people DM for that. Someone also asked me, how will I be able to get data from the website? This is what I just showed. I hope this is clear. Can we move to the next? Can we proceed, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Now, though I do not need this in Excel, but let's say that, let's just say I actually need this in Excel. That I've done all the cleanings and this is what they want. So how will I now load this? Remember that this is not, I minimize so that you can see Excel at the background. This is Excel. But this
Hello,
is
sir.
our. Yes, please.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Is
no
in
problem.
regards to this power query.
Okay.
I had a situation that there was a string of numbers. There were numbers like ID. So I had it was in an interview. I was told to extract based like maybe we had 1101.11289 dots like that.
Okay.
And I was told to extract the second one based on the delimiter. So as in I was so the problem I had, the way I solved the problem, that particular task was I split that column
I get
based on delimiter.
Yeah.
But you know, if I split,
you will
I will just
columns.
remove that particular one. I'll just remove that particular one and maybe merge other columns. But is there a way? Because later when I got home and I was reviewing the things I did, I saw there was a place you could extract.
Yes.
So I had challenge because if there was that particular command that if you extract, you could that number they said extract from and extract first and extract last. I thought it was not the best option for that particular task. What best or what way or what other option aside from splitting the column and merging it back? Because I'm supposed to keep all that numbers intact aside those the ones in the middle. They wanted to use the numbers in the middle as the primary key to create relationship between all tables and all that jargon. But is there any other way? Which other way could I have extracted without splitting the column? I don't know.
It's a nice question. I'm already laughing because I like it. It's a nice one. Now take a look at. Let me maximize this so you can lower your hand.
Okay.
So let's say, okay, let me stay on this column, this state column. And they need me to extract the first, anyways, something before the space. Are you following? I'm sure you are following. They need me to extract something before the space. In this context, space is the one separating two words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I click on transform, can you see extract?
Yes.
Can you see, what does it do, please?
Extract characters from text values.
So if I drop it, I will see, is it text before? Is it text after? Is it the length? Is it first character? Is it last? Is it range? Is it text before delimiter? That means that if I'm to extract the one before delimiter or text after delimiter, so you have this option depending on what they ask you.
The problem is that the delimiter was also in other places. So it was like that. The delimiter, that was why I had the problem. The delimiter was also continuous in other places. So that was why I used the option of splitting to remove that particular number, then match the other cells. Do you understand? Like the numbers were like maybe 12 numbers, for instance, 12 numbers that was broken down into 3 units, like, okay, 1, 2, 3 dots, 3, 4, 5 dots, 6, 7, 8 dots, 9, 10, 11, like that. So you will now tell me that I should extract where you had 3, 4, 5. You know, if I extract based on delimiter now, we still had other places that had that dot, which is a delimiter. So it became a problem. So the way I addressed it was like I split the table. Okay. So when I picked that 3, 4, 5, I now matched the other cells, the other columns rather, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, to be a unit again, to be a column.
No,
but I feel that there's a better way to do it. I feel there's a better way to do it. That is why I'm bringing this to the fore.
Okay. In my head, the question you asked, I was thinking that you said you want to extract something. So are you saying that it is not uniform? That where the 3, 4, 5 or whatever you are bringing is not uniform, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not that it's not uniform. We had other places that had that same delimiter.
which is dot, right?
Yes.
The delimiter is dot, right?
Yes. Okay,
And
let
they
me
ask you-
use the example. Let me use the example of this number that we have, this population. So remove your cursor from that extract, this on this
Okay.
third column. Okay, now, if it was like the number, the series here was 94.01.288. And they said
Okay.
you should remove all the middle like that, where you have 01 or 012 across
You
board.
should remove.
Yes, you should extract. They didn't say remove, extract, They said extract.
Okay.
What does extract mean? Is extract is like removing
It's to
something.
like select, bring it out.
Yes, bring it out and form it in another, put it in another column on its own. Because that column, later they have the second question was that after you have removed it, put it in a new table. So the new table was like a primary table. It was a primary key to other tables which we used to create the relationship and model. But the only thing I was having in my head after the test or the interview, as it were, is there any other way I could have done it aside? Could I have used that extract? Because what me I did when I cracked my head and I saw a delimiter, this delimiter is present in other areas. Supposing it was just in a place, obviously that one is very, very straightforward. I would just split the table and I would have extracted the number. But in this
You know
case,
that
it was a
you can also
yes.
leverage on column from example.
Okay.
You remember now? You know that just like flash feed that we just did in Excel. So column from example,
Okay.
we look at the pattern of what you are typing. You know, we say column from example. So it's going to extract
from that place. Oh,
exactly.
I didn't even think of that. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So it will do. So in my
But it
head,
was
so
in Power
depending
BI
on what,
anyways. It was in Power BI, not in
of course
Excel.
I know. Even this is the same thing. This same Power Query is the one that is also in Power BI.
Okay. Okay. No
Yes.
problem.
So
It's okay.
my point is you could use that column from example. It's going to follow the pattern you type. But
Okay.
if you want to use any of this, all you need to do is just practice with them. You get the point to know
Okay.
what this will give you, if there are delimiter and all of that. But of course,
Okay.
column from example will not stress you because you follow the sequence or the pattern of the things you have typed and you get your result. You get that column.
Okay.
But of course, you could also write code that will do that for you. You can also write line of code. You don't want to also stress yourself because you know that for everything you do, all the drag and drop or click and whatever, there is the code written behind, which is in advanced editor. Okay.
It's okay. Thank you, sir.
So I hope you are fine. I hope I answered you correctly.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone, class, you know that we said we can ask questions. So please. Sorry, take that again. You said a lot of information. Is someone asking a question, please? Tell me. Okay, I guess we are fine, right? So I'll take it as you're fine. Can I proceed, please? Please, I need the response to be sure. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir, you can proceed.
Yes,
Thank
go
you.
ahead, sir.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Now, let's say I now want to use this in Excel. Maybe I don't have Power BI. If I drop down close, for Power BI, it is close and apply, but here it is close and load. So if I drop this down, I will now see close and load. There's also close and load too. Maybe some other time we'll talk about that. We have a lot to do. So if I close this now, so it's going to load itself here. Can you see? I can then do, you can see, but let me just say got it. I don't need to enhance. I could use table style design. This one I just design. Can you see? To say if I want another color and all of that. So depending on whatever it is that you want. So let's say I want this one, right? Now, I can then use this to now create pie chart or filter based on whatever my line manager is requesting me to do. How will I be able to use this to do pie chart? Let me delete this one since I don't need this so that we don't get confused. Pivot table. So how will I be able to use this to solve? I could close this side. I can also leave it, right? So immediately I load this, right? this query part shows because this is coming from Power Query. Like that's why you're seeing query. In case you are looking at your own screen, you are not seeing it. It's because you have not done what I just did, right? If I step out of this, I click it, that query has disappeared and the table design. You know, we did this 2 weeks ago that we said we can convert a range to a table. And when you do that, table design will automatically show where you can say total row and all of that. But that is not what we want to do here today. Now, because this is already a table, it makes life easy for me. Can you see I can summarize with pivot table? This is me answering the person that asked for a pivot table the other time. Now, meaning that I want to summarize this with, I want to create a report. Though this is a kind of report, but this kind of report is operational report. It shows you record line by line or row by row. But maybe what I want is to do that pivot table, which I want to use this to answer. I could just say summarize with pivot table. Can you see? Summarize the data in this table using pivot table. What is pivot table? It makes it easy to arrange and summarize complicated data and drill down on details. So pivot table is like summary of this, right? Now just let me say pivot table. It's just to show. By the time we're doing like other classes that will deal with pivot table, I'll be able to explain in details. So now pivot table, when I click on that, all right, maybe I should also cancel for now. If you have not converted this to a table, if this does not come as a table, where will you be able to see pivot table? If this is not a table, if it is just a range, you will need to go to insert and you will see this button here. You'll be able to use a range. Can you see from range to table, from table to range? My point is you'll be able to see it, but because this is already like a table, I could just click on table design. When I click on table design, I can see summarize. So when I click on this, right, this dialog box is talking to me. It's talking to me saying that I can see that you want to do something, right? Choose where you want this to be placed. Is it new worksheet or existing? Of course, I don't want it here. So, I mean, I could just go with the default. Now it's saying, but this will be another time because we have a lot of things. It's saying, can I add this to data model? You know, I talk about Power Pivot, talking about that Microsoft introduced Power BI first. So if I say add to data model, that means it's going to be added to, it will just put it somewhere in Power Pivot for us so that we can do some things. All right, so I could just click on OK. So when I click on OK, watch, another page will be opened and something will show there. The reason why it shows on another page, because we said another page, you can then see that he has this option to say, build a report. Choose your field from the pivot table field. For Power BI people, they already know that in Power BI Desktop, there is something at this corner, and this is where you view the report. So whatever I select, for instance, let's say I just select state, it's going to show all the states, of course. Can you see? And maybe the only thing my line manager is asking for is just 2019 population, then I have it this way. I can then say, of course, I don't want to visualize this, but I'll just show, the visual may not, but just for you to see. Maybe I don't want to visualize on just a table, but I also need comma separator to be so that this can be readable. It's very important you do that. Then what will I be able to do? Watch what I'm going to do. Maybe I should show how not to do it first and show you how to do it. Let me show how not to do it. If I go to Home tab and I say I want comma, if I click comma now, look at what will happen. Remember, I have selected this. I click on Home tab and I click on comma. It only applied to this. It didn't apply to, and I don't want to highlight everything and I say do that for all. No, I don't want to do that. Control Z. You know that this was not available in Power Query. All right, but we're in Excel, so Control Z will work here. Now I want to do something for one and it will apply to all. All I need to do, since it's a pivot table, I'll right click. When I right click, I'll see number formatting. So if I go to number formatting now, I can do whatever it is. I could say, no, it is not general, it is number. And when it is coming, I want you to use 1000 separator. I would check this box and I'll say, no, since it's not money, it should not have decimal. So I could just say 0 or no decimal. Can I proceed? Can I say okay? Just to be sure you're following.
Yes, you can, sir.
So I'll just click on OK. Can you see that everything now has that? I show you how not to do it, and I've shown how to do it. If this is running to 500 rows, don't worry, it has applied down. So let's say that I don't need this on the table, though. I just want to show the visual. This may not look the way it's supposed to be because it's a lot. Assuming we have zone now, let's say we have a zone. I could have just said zone versus population. So that will make more sense. Now, let's say I want to visualize or the chart. Can you see pivot table analyze, right? Because I've done pivot, so it's also coming with pivot table analyze. So if I click on pivot table analyze, can you see pivot chart? Can you see? I mean, this is the advantage that we have. When you put something in a table or pivot, all of these functionalities will come with it. But if you normally would want to create a chart for this, you would have to go to insert and then choose any of your charts. It will still do, it will still work. But because it's already like in a table as a pivot table, you have options that allows you to pick. Can you see recommended pivot? They can recommend what is best if they find something. If I click on this, then it's going to say, oh, we cannot, you can't recommend any pivot for selected because there are too many blanks and all of that. Now, if I say, okay, what of if I pick this myself, then you know why it's showing this? Let me choose anyone. That's what I'm saying. It's going to. So there is something that's looking abnormal, which everyone can see. That's part of what we'll have cleaned. But of course, because I didn't want to just show, take a look at what is happening. He has also added Nigeria instead of Nigeria is a country, of course we know, but it has added everything. So I do not need Nigeria because this is looking abnormal. How will I be able to say no, Nigeria, don't be included in this, right? If I right click, can I go ahead, please? I need
Yes,
to,
sir.
okay. If I don't need Nigeria, okay, let me do it from the top. Because this comes as a table, look at this filter button. If I drop this down, it's going to show all the states, right? Then I can say, no, do not include Nigeria. I could search, and I could scroll down. Then if I say, okay, Nigeria is no longer there. I don't need to, if I go back, Nigeria is not selected. Nigeria is no longer there. So if I go to pivot chart, can we see? This now makes sense. Because Nigeria was there as a total, it was looking awkward. I could use any chart, please. I just want to use this one. You could, if I click on pie chart, for instance, see, it doesn't, you can't use this. It doesn't make sense. But of course, let me go with this. But if I cancel, for instance, and I say recommended chart, it couldn't. But I'll go with my own to say, okay, based on this, let me use this one. So I'll just show this, right? And today is not for pivot table, please. I'm just trying to answer someone that requested. Then I could say I don't need this total. Really, I don't need it. I select and delete on my keyboard. I could put this on another page. I could design it because it's a chart. You can see format, design. So I could use whatever best deliver. You can over your cursor as you're hovering, you're seeing, right? So you're seeing different things. So if this was a proper class for pivot, of course, I can tell you that we will take a lot of time to do this. But let me just know if this makes more sense to you. Just let me get your response. Does it make sense in a way?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A lot of sense.
Okay. Thank you. So this is done to show. Remember, we got this data from the website. As this is changing, as the record is changing on the website, will it reflect it? Of course it will reflect. But what do you need to do to make, let's say this Aviana has increased or any of the state has increased? How will you change reflect? All you need to do, if I come to this place, can you see refresh? Can you see get the latest data from the source connected to ActiveCell? In case someone is about to ask, this is what you need to do. You need to refresh all. And when you do that, you will get all of this change. The figure will change and also the chart would change. I hope this answer, I don't know if the person is on the call, someone specifically requested for this, but don't worry, we are still going to dedicate some more days, some more times for this. So I think this is it. Then we move to the next one. Let me know if there are questions. Let me know if there are area of concerns. So if everything is fine, I guess we can move to Power BI interface so that we can do a lot of work. Now, what we did was to do Power Query to get this, please. We use Power Query in getting this and we solve this. So I hope I can, okay, maybe I can save this for just for the sake of people and then drop it after the class on the group. What can I call this? Let me put Nigeria states, just to put something, population. So I want to save it on the desktop for you. Okay, let me put it in this way so that I can always pick it from there. Then it is saved. I'll close this now because I do not need it. Okay, let me also name this properly. Should make sense. Let me just say Nigeria, NIJ for Nigeria. Then save. Then close this. Good. And I'm going to also close this. Now, if you have downloaded Power BI, which is this, what we also want to do is to do something in Power Query. You have seen the Power Query in Excel. We are about to expose us to Power BI, of course, Power Query in Power BI. So I will need as many that are following to also give me their hand if they have. You can just raise your hand if you have downloaded Power BI desktop. Please, you can show a raise of hand and you can launch your Power BI desktop, please. I'm waiting for others. Okay, so I think we'll go with these few hands. So others will just follow. So thank you. Now, if you look at the folder, we can lower our hands. Thank you so much. If you look at the folder, the next thing we want to pick is this. Let me pick this. I hope Wale is on the call and Wu and Grace. About 5 people asked for, no, 2 people asked for this that I'm about to demonstrate. Now I'm going to open this folder. I'm opening this Excel or this file. Remember the password. And I press enter. 12AB. Now I want to disable this. If I do not disable this password and I get it into Power BI, it could flag an error that the data is encrypted or could not be accessed or something. I hope you can hear. Okay. So can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Then I'm going to click on File. If I go to File, I'll click on Information. I want to remove the password. The password is required. I'll say I know. And I want to remove the password. Encrypt with password. Can we see? I'll say no. How will I do? I say remove it. Then say okay. It's no longer there. I hope I can proceed. In case someone is
What did you
saying
say the password again is?
12AB in
Okay.
uppercase. 1, 2, A and B in capital letter in uppercase. 1, 2, AB. So when you impute that, it's going to open like this. You will be able to see this. So when you see this, right, because we want to use this, we need to remove the password because we want to load it into Power BI. So come to File tab, come to Information. For your own, right, it will be showing that it's encrypted with password. Drop this Protect workbook down, select Encrypt with password. When you select it, it will show that there is, you see all those 4 dots, the character of the password, then remove it, then say okay. When you say that, that means it is no longer passworded. Then you must now click on Save. When you save it, and you close it and open it again, it's not going to ask you for password. I hope this is clear, everyone. I hope we can proceed now because I want to load this into Power BI environment. Let me get one response, then we'll proceed, please, just to be sure we are fine. Okay. Now, thank you. So I've saved it, Control S, or you click Save at the top here. You can see saving, then I'll close this. In case you want to confirm this, if I open this again, it shouldn't ask me for password. It should just open because I have removed the password and I have saved it. I'm just waiting. Can you see? So that means, but if you open your own and it's still requesting for password, you have not done the right thing. Now I will close this. I've already opened my Power BI
please.
environment.
Hello.
Now, this is Power BI that I asked us to download. See, Microsoft is doing.
Hello.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Please, can you take the part of removing the password again? Sorry about.
Can I?
Take the part of removing the password.
The password, right?
Yes, where you
But I have
the password.
done my. Have you? Do you have the password to start with?
No, I don't have it, but I want to get the part so that I can be able to do it on my own.
Okay, let me open this. You know what? Which one should I open that I passworded? Okay, let me open this again. But it's not going to ask me for password because I have removed. But I will just demonstrate as if it's asking me for it. I'm opening it again. So now it won't open this way. It will be, there won't be anything you are able to see. There will be a box that says impute password. So you impute the password. The password for this is 1, 2, then A, B in capital letter uppercase. So when you do that, right, then you'll be able to see all of this. But because we need to use this, we need to get this data into Power BI. Just like we got something to Power Query from the web, right? I will need to come to File. I want to remove the password that I used in protecting this. I will click on File. When I click on File tab, it's going to open this backend for me. I'll click on Information, Info. Then I will see this place. There will be a method that says it's passworded. You need password to like unprotect it. Drop down. Choose encrypt. When you choose, you will see those characters of the password. Wipe it away, right? And say okay, and you'll be fine. When you say okay, I click out because I have done it. I'll see when you say okay, come back to this place and click on save. That means save it without the password. I hope I answered you, Chioma.
Very, very well. Thank you.
Thank you. So then you save it, then you can close it. Now, we want to bring this into Power BI. I've launched my Power BI, which is this one. Now, this is Power BI environment. This is Power BI desktop. That's why I said we should go to store and download. See, Microsoft has done a lot of things to make life easy. And I can tell you that sincerely, right? The way to go right now in the world is AI stuff, and Power BI has embedded a lot of AI intelligence, artificial intelligence rather, into all of their applications. So it makes life easy. In short, if you don't know how to write code, Power BI is one of the easy to use application for a data analysis or someone that works with a large data and all of that. You get to understand. In short, a lot of people have come to the conclusion that Power BI is easier than Microsoft Excel. You get to understand. Now, you'll see get data. You know, when we open that Power, okay, maybe I should show it side by side so that it can make sense to you. Yeah, I'll just show you side by side. You know, when we get to, I just wanted to open that Excel that we click to get something from the web. I want to launch a blank one. Yes, launch a blank one. Good. I'm going to like minimize this a bit down so that you can see what I mean. If I go to data tab, do you understand that there's get data here and there's get data here? That's why we say that. Excel, this is Excel and this is Power BI. So that means if I drop down this get data, I'm seeing all of this. The same is also here. So if I drop down get data, right, I'm seeing all of this. You can see Excel. This is me just trying to put them side by side, right? It's just that it won't allow me. Let this one stay here. And let me say get data. Can you see? It's just for you to know that, the same Power Query in Excel is also the same in Power BI. Now, Power BI will say, okay, where is the data coming from? So get data is just asking you that this is blank. So this is Power BI environment, right? Do not worry, everyone on this call. There will be a day that we will, like I said, I promise that we will start a series that will, like, from the beginning, and we take it a step at a time, and you will understand. All right. Now, you take a lot of time. So what I want to do is answer questions based on what people have requested. But while we are trying to do this, if you have any question, please, as regards to what we are doing, you are free to ask. Now, I will click on get data. Remember that data that we just removed password from is an Excel file. This is what I mean. This folder, this one, you can see it is under the type, it is Excel. Look at my cursor there. You can see that it is Microsoft Excel is going to show Microsoft Excel workbook, this one. So I need to tell Power BI that, okay, what I need to get is coming from Excel workbook. Please, can I proceed? Right now we have started, a good work. Can I proceed, please? Uduak, your hand is up. Please go ahead. I can see your hand. Oh, another. Uduak, please go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you thus far. So I have a question, and it has been giving me issues for a long time, I think since last year. I've been looking for ways to solve it, but I don't even have a better way. So I get data from social media platforms, especially from Facebook, and they usually share it in CSV file format and XLSL file format. Okay. And then those people who do SQL, who don't usually take the time to clean their data, they might send it in their own file format. And then those who use MongoDB, how do I solve that problem? So if
I like
because
this.
when you import those data, they usually come in their own computer language, and that gives me a lot of headache. For instance, now I deal with email addresses and phone numbers, and then locations and countries where my qualified leads are coming from. How do I clean that data? How do I avoid, especially phone numbers that have to do with country code? It will give me error.
Okay. It's fine.
How do I
Now,
unify all those file formats and make sure it's readable and usable? Thank you.
don't mute yet. Don't mute yet. Take a look at Power BI.
Okay.
Power BI will say, get data simply means, can you see, connect to data from multiple sources. So get data simply means that, okay, you want me to help you? I said yes. He said, okay, where is the data coming from? Now, let me click on more. Power BI can talk to over 200 data sources. And when it is one thing to understand, you must understand where your data is coming from. If this data is coming from, for instance, just look at it. Look at some of the things you mentioned. Let's say it's coming from Excel. I'll say Excel. If it is coming from text and CSV, I'll choose this. If it is coming from XML, I'll choose this. If it is coming from JSON, I'll choose this. Anywhere your data is coming from, I'll be scrolling down. Let me say, click once and anywhere, right, that this is coming from. Can you see my SQL, SharePoint, Oracle DB, my SQL database, SAP? Uda, please, are you seeing this?
Yes, I'm saying it.
So this is what I mean. This will answer you. So if you use Power BI, right, it will save you a lot of stress, because whatever way, whatever data source, for every data you want to get, there is a place it's stored. There is a place it's coming from. So using the right connections or the right source to get your data is what you need. So I can assure you that if you have downloaded Power BI Desktop, going forward, if you want to analyze anything, use Power BI Desktop to connect to that data source. If it is coming from Facebook, right? Before now, Power BI could connect to Facebook. But if I type Facebook now, you won't see it. The reason is, what I wouldn't know, so I can't even answer correctly that what happened. But before now, we could get something from Facebook, right? But they discontinued that. So I think that's that because Microsoft and Facebook are the ones that will be able to answer that correctly. So, but before now, you could see Facebook, you will see Twitter, you see LinkedIn. There is LinkedIn here. Let me see LinkedIn. Can you see? So before now, you could have access to all those social media. But if the thing is coming from social media, right, there is what we call Power Automate that you can leverage on. But it's just that we can't start with that now. We need to take it a step at a time. So we do a lot of what we call sentiment analysis for some companies that have social media. So all we need to do is to create a flow. That flow will go to that social media and do. Like it will just like it's maybe I should say intermediary connection that will connect it back to Power BI. All we need to do is that anytime they drop something there, flow, trigger, let something happen, trigger an action. Then when all we need to do is just to say Power BI will connect data. I mean, we get data from that and we'll be able to analyze. Let me know if I answered you in a way.
Yes, you do. There's another question I have. So if, for example, now I can see Google BigQuery, but I cannot see Google Analytics. So say, for instance, now we are either using a normal website that uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then we use a WordPress website.
I just
want to
answered
find
you.
out. I know, but I want to find out the number of people that visited the website. Will I now connect it to the website directly? Okay, this is Google Analytics.
Yeah, so it depends. That is what we call audit trail. Audit trail would give you record of, I mean, usage, people that visit, people that goes out, how many minutes and all of that. So you could analyze anything. No? My point is that whatever you are working on, you need to, for instance, let me put it this way. If I go to, just a moment, if I select SQL Server, and I say connect, it's going to say, give me the server name. Where are you going? Because it's another thing. Any flat file will not ask you. If I save something in Excel on my laptop, it's not going to ask me to supply a server name. So if let's say I want to connect to Facebook, let's say Facebook is still here, it's going to ask me for username. You know, you need to have something to get into your Facebook, I mean.
Yes.
I hope you understand what I mean. So at
Yes,
any
I
point
do.
in time that there is a secured environment where you are getting something from, then there will be, you want to enter my house, you need key, and you need the right key. So I will need to supply it. So my point, all this that I'm trying to say is that whatever you want to gain access to, as long as you have the parameter or the elements to get in, that will give you access, you can gain access to it. If you work in a company where you want to connect to a server, for instance, there is a database guy who is an administrator that will give you access. It will not give you access to everything unless you need everything. It will only grant you access to where you are going. But if you are the one managing that environment, then you have all the access. So you know where you are going. If I give you the server name of a particular server and the database, when you get into that database, you will see everything in the database based on the access I give you. So it is not left for you to pick what you want to use. I hope you understand.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Thank
Because
you.
my
You
point
answered
is
my
we will
question.
gain access, but you will see many databases or many tables. So it is not left for you to say, which table are you bringing? Which table do you want to use? So at that point, I do not have control. Like you are the one that have control. Let me know if I answered you correctly.
Yes, you do. Yes, you have.
Okay, thank you. So is there any other question, everyone? Can we proceed? Can we proceed, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Now, please, we want to get that from Excel. So I could just click, this is a shortcut. This is another shortcut. Can see that Power BI position the same thing in several places. If I come to get it, I'll still see it. Whichever one you are choosing, you're on the correct path, please. What I'm bringing is coming from Excel. Can you see? Immediately I click, it already brought me to the box. In case you're wondering, I just call it box to make it easy. It brought me inside this folder, and I'm picking these cells. The next thing you will see is that it's going to be connecting to it. Can you see? Then you will see a navigation pane, right? Just like when we connected in Power Query Excel to that website, it was bringing something like this, right? Then it's waiting for me to say, you have not selected, select something so that I can show you a preview of what is there. If I select this, I get a preview of what is there. If I select this, it just shows me of what is there. But if you take a look, this and this, they are the same thing. Maybe I should just take a few seconds to talk about this. This is a table. You know, we talk about range and table in Excel. So when there is a table, right, it will also show the table because I've converted this range to a table. So it will show the range like a sheet, worksheet, and it's also going to show the table. So anyone you pick, they are the same thing. But it has stable that if you already have a range converted to a table, choose the table. Now, if I do not check this box, these are the bottom right will not be enabled, is not clickable. Remember, it is the same thing we saw when we used Power Query in Excel. So I have to say, check this box off. I'm not going to load. I want to transform. Then when I click on transform data, Power Query will also now open up. Can you see the same Power Query in Excel? It's just a different, maybe color. Can you see choose column, remove column, keep row? Those things that you also saw when we open Power Query in Excel are the things you are seeing. And I mentioned earlier that in Excel, it is close and load, but in Power BI, it is close and apply. If I minimize this, you can see the behind that Power BI desktop is behind, and this is the Power Query. Now, someone or about 3 persons specifically asked for calculated columns. And that is what I'm about to show. I will plead that we follow. I just want to take a look at us good. I will plead that we follow. Now, I have loaded this table. You can see Power BI is that smart. Immediately I load this, it puts this as date. He put this as decimal because he knows this is money, like unit price, unit cost. He knows that this is quantity, like he detected. So because there is artificial intelligence embedded in this. It was not like this in Excel. In case you are wondering, I hope I didn't close it. Good. Oh, I closed it, right? My point is, it wasn't like this in Excel. There is nothing like icon at the top like this, but this is Power Query environment. If you also take a look to your right, you can see that apply steps. The same thing you saw in the Excel is just for you to now know that the Power Query in Excel and Power Query in Power BI, they are the same thing. Now, what do we want to do? There is unit price. There is
Sorry, I have a
cost.
question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Is applied steps history?
Yes, go ahead.
History of actions. Is applied step history of actions taken?
Okay, you are saying it's applied step history of action taken, right?
History of all your actions taken.
I like that. Applied steps is the record of whatever thing you do, any cleaning that is performed or executed on a table, it will be recorded against the table. I have only loaded one query or one table. So anything that I do to this will be recorded. That is why it is called applied steps. The steps you applied will be recorded. I hope I answered you correctly.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now watch. Let's say it's just for you to see, right? Let's say I really don't need, let me see what I don't need. I've already differentiated between or explained choose columns and remove columns. But let me see all the columns. I'll say choose columns. I just want to see all the columns. If I want to take anyone out. Okay. Instead of me scrolling, these are the columns. I could scroll so that you'd see. You know what? Let me scroll so that you see. Then I'll come and choose columns. So this is all you are seeing promotion name, promotion type, promotion product name. You are seeing manufacturer, brand, product subquery, product category, store, zip folder, zip code, and all of this. All right. But let's say I really do not need something, but I actually need then. But let's say I don't need some things. I'm going to choose and I'll click on choose. I could click on this button. It's going to still open this. Let's say I don't need which one? Let's say I don't need zip code. Let's say I don't need zip code, right? Let's say I don't need brand name and I don't need manufacturer. I'm just trying to show something. Let's say those are the ones I don't need. When I say okay, UDRAC, you can take a look at the apply step. So when I say okay, right? It has recovered, it has recorded that against that. What you just did, you have removed other columns and all of that. So every subsequent thing that I do, it will be recorded there. Now, everyone, I need you to please follow. So there is unit cost, there is unit price, there is quantity. Now, I want to answer those people, those are members that are asking for this. I want to be able to analyze this report and be able to let management understand what is our total sales or total revenue. We only have unit costs. We have unit price. We have other quantity. In order to have our total revenue or total sales, we need to say unit price is the amount I am selling a particular product. That same product, I bought it. I'm just focusing on this. So I brought a product for 76, right? And I'm selling it at this rate, 304. In order to know what is, and someone bought, just to follow, someone bought 9. So that means in order to know my total revenue or total sales, how much sales have we made on a particular product, I will need to say, okay, this 304, multiply it by number of quantity or that, then that will give me my total revenue or total sales. In order to also know that, I hope we are not spending too much, how much does one unit cost us times the quantity the person bought? So that at the end of the day, we want to know if you are making profit. In order to know if you are making profit, we could now say, okay, total sales minus total cost will give us our profit. This is me. I don't want to write a long like formula expression. I just want to make it simple. If you understand what I just said, then we can proceed. Let me know. I just need one response to be sure that we understand that, then we can now execute it. Is it clear, please? Can we proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Because the column that we need, that I just mentioned, is not part of these columns. Remember, when I click on choose columns, we didn't see anything like total sales or total revenue or total cost of profits. But we need it in our report. Management is interested in seeing how much sales did we make, how much, hope it didn't cost us too much, and hope we are making profit in order to add those three columns. What will I do? All I need to do, if you look at the tabs, you see file tab, home tab, transform tab or menu, add column menu. Because I want to add a column, I will need to go to this add column. Please, if I'm speaking grammar that you don't understand, if this is not simplified, let me know. I'll take it again. Now, we want to add columns. I'll go to this one called add columns. Now, Power BI is now saying, okay, it depends on whatever you want. The column you want to add, is this something like, from example, just like we saw that flash fill, just like Adedoyin was asking another way of doing what she did. And there's column from example that will allow you to type something and now look at the pattern and supply it. But what we want to do is not actually column from example. It is price times quantity. We also want to see unit cost times quantity. And at the end of the day, we want to say whatever we get, this should multiply that so that we can get our profit. Now, there is custom column. How will you be able to express yourself with custom column? It said you want to create a new column in this table based on a custom formula. I will click on this. When I click on this, a dialog box will show. Dialog box means it's talking to you. It said you want to add, can you see, add a column that is computed from other columns? Let's say it's asking you. I said yes. You now say, okay, give me the name of the column that you want to add. I will help you add a column, but do you want it to have a name? I said yes. Instead of custom, call it total sales. Total sales. Now, is that okay? If you take a look to your right, it's showing you all the available columns from the table, from this table, that these are the columns. I said, okay, yes, thank you. Power BI, you're doing well, or Power Query, you're doing well. Then I say, he said, if you want to express yourself, you have to come to the bigger box. Can you see? Enter your formula into the text area below. You can then press Control. It's just saying you want to do calculation. And remember that in Excel, then I say anytime or in any application, you want to do any calculation, it must start with equal to. I'll click in this bigger box. I'm calling it bigger box so that everyone can see it's actually very big compared to this one. Now, all I need to do is to say, okay, since this is supposed to be total sales, I can then say price. If I click on price, it's selected. I can click on insert tab. I hope I'm not too fast. Can I proceed? I hope I'm not too fast, just to be sure.
Yes.
Am I too fast?
Proceed.
Oh, thank you. Then I'll click on, I can insert. When I click on insert, you will see it here. Good. Can you see? Now, because price should multiply by other QTY, right? I need that shift 8, that asterisk sign. This shift 8 is multiplication sign, right? I will now say other QTY. This time around, I can double click on this one. Instead of click once and say insert, I'll still see it there. So I want to double click now, 1, 2, I just did. Can you see? Now, this is also talking to you that based on what you have entered there is no syntax error detected, meaning that this expression looks fine, meaning if you go with this, there's no error. But let me remove this. When I remove this, it's already saying this doesn't make sense because this is not complete. This expression does not make sense. Anyways, let me bring this back, please. And I say, okay, this one that you have expressed does make sense. When I say okay, I just did. A new column has been added called total sales. And this total sales is a function of quantity times price. I'm going to bring it closer before I change the data. Let me bring it closer. How will you be able to bring it? I want to bring it closer to that one so that you can see, right? how will you be able to bring it closer? If I right click, right? I just, in case you didn't see it, I put my cursor here and I right click on this column and I see move. Is it, do you want to move it to left or right? It's already the last one. So going to right will not change anything. Is it to beginning? Beginning means it's going to be the first one from the left. I mean, I'm sure we understand this, or to the end. Of course, this is the end. But is there a shortcut? I can hold down my mouse, left click and drag. I'm dragging now. You can see these dark lines and the dark header following me. It's going to follow me till I get to where I want to put it. I'm just dragging. I'm not doing any other thing other than this. I want to take it side by side, close to the quantity. All right, can you see? So I can say stay here. If I drop it here, can you see that is so that you can see that 304 times 9. Now, this one that you are seeing, it shouldn't be, it's money and it's supposed to be decimal. So this corner is called data type. All I need to do is to tell Power BI that, okay, it's not alphanumeric, it's not number and alphabet. It is decimal because it's money, it is decimal. If you choose decimal and fixed decimal, they are the same thing. Fixed decimal will only fix to 2. Decimal could do more than 2 decimal, but I want to choose fixed decimal. Now, I have this. I will be glad. Can someone try to replicate what I just did? Remember what I just did. Let me show you. Let me show you what I did. Take a look. I call these total sales. I click on add columns. I rename this total sales and I said price times other QTY and I click on OK. That's how we got what we just did. Okay. Is there anyone on the code I want to give it a try? Just so I want you to now add a column called total costs. Total cost will be a function of or an expression of unit cost times other QTY. Is anyone willing to try? Is anyone willing to give that a shot? Okay, let me continue. Okay, let me just now. Are we following, please? Don't worry, just raise your hand if you are following. Kindly show a raise of hand if you are following. Okay, good. Thank you. Waiting for others. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so I will do this again. Now, I want to add, we can lower our ends. So I want to add a column called total cost. So I would say add columns. If I'm on non-tab, I will click on add columns. It's not saying what kind of column. Of course, it's a custom column. So when I click on custom column, it's now saying what is the name. This one should be total cost. I'll just say total cost. Then I'll come to the bigger box. Remember, we have the columns here. I'll say this time around, unit costs, shift 8. That is multiplied by other quantity. That's all. And I'll just say, okay. When I say okay, that column has also been added. So because it should not be alphanumeric, I would also change the type, right, to either of the two. I can also move it if I want. All right, I could say, okay, let me move it. Okay, so I could just move it. That I want all the figures to be closer to themselves. That is what I'm doing right now. I hope this is easy. I hope you can see that it's not difficult. That is what we say. That's why we say Power BI is user-friendly. Now, I want to add another column, which will be called profits. And profit will be total sales minus total costs. Now, I will go to add columns and say custom column. The dialog box will show, I'll name or rename this as profits. And I'll say it's a function of total sales minus sign total costs. And I'll say, okay. And we have the difference between, you can see it here in the formula bar. It's already showing that you just did something called profit. And what you did was to say total sales minus total costs. I said, yeah, that's it, thank you. Then I want to change the data type, this corner, to fixed decimal. Now I have this. Now that I have this, can I proceed? Does this make sense? Any question, please, before I do the next one?
Yes, please. Can
Okay.
you demonstrate how you change it to values after you've
Okay,
used the
let me
formula
remove
to
this.
get them?
Take a look. If you look at the header, there are 3 things on the header. The name of the column, there is also a filter button like a drop down.
Yes,
But
yes.
before the name, there's always a corner, a square. Look at it. If you
Formula.
click on that place, it will show you different data type. So what they're actually now saying is that you want to tell Power BI what this is actually supposed to be, not the one it gave it. Then you now drop down, right, and say it's supposed to be this. I hope I answered it correctly.
Definitely. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, let's say your line, we have done the 3 things we'll visualize shortly. Let's say your line manager, right, is interested in seeing, let's say we could use profit. Can you imagine that there are some sales that you made loss? I mean, you can see minus something. Simply means that, I'm sure you understand the meaning of minus anyways. So let me drag this. I mean the other ones. This is a shortcut of rearranging or reorganizing or reordering. That's the right word. So let me put this here. So you can then see all of this figure. Now, let's say your line manager is interested in seeing something. That in your report, managers are interested in seeing something that has to do with profit classification or profit status. Take a look. You can see some of the, I mean, this is total sales, so let's use total sales. So now I just drop it down just so that you see. Let's say management is interested in saying that they want you to be able to visualize any sales that is from 0 to 500. Or maybe we should just do 2 things. I think it's fine. Any sales that is from 0 to 500 is fair. It's a fair sales. Anything above that is good sales. I'll take this again. Your line manager is saying management is interested in classifying the sales that any sales that is from 0 to 500 is fair sales. Anything above that is good. Let me know if this is clear. This expression is clear because we need to practicalize it. Is it clear, please? Can I proceed?
Yes.
Good. Then in that instance, take a look at this column. It is called conditional column. 3 people requested for custom columns. I just did custom columns now. They said, how would they add custom column? What I just did, all those 3 columns that we calculated, I did them via custom column in Power Query. Now, what I'm about to show is what we call conditional column. Remember, my line manager specifically said that any sales that is from 0 to 500 is fair sales. Else, good. So that is the condition, right? Then I'm going to click on conditional column. Though I could, all of these things is because we have some people that have 0 knowledge. That's why I'm doing drag and drop. In reality, you could write a code. But whatever we do, you know what? Let me expose something to you. All this that we've been doing, Power BI is helping you to write code behind. Let me show you. If I click on Home, or Power Query is doing that. If I click on Home tab, can we see Advanced Editor? If I click on Advanced Editor now, what you will see are lines of code. All the drag and drop that we've been doing, Power Query is writing code as we are just dragging. Power Query is writing code. In case you are wondering, can you see that the code are also in English? Because you know what, some people are always scared of code that they write it in one language that you don't understand. Every programming language comes in English language. I'm just trying to say. Anyways. Now, but you are just dragging. You can see when we change type, is recorded against. When we remove other columns, when we add columns, when we reorder, when I was rearranging to move total sales to that side, is writing this behind the scene. All right, but do not be worried about that. That's why this environment is called no code, low code, meaning NO, no code. Without writing code, you could achieve your result. Or with even minimal code, which is low code, you could also achieve your result. Of course, if you want to write code, maximum code, you can do that. All right. We want to add a conditional column. Okay, just to pause. I hope what we have done so far made sense to you. Is it difficult? Let me get our responses, please, just to be sure that everyone is fine.
Fine, sir.
Okay, I'm waiting for others. Let me just have some more responses. So if it is not clear, I can take it again.
It's fine.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Hi, Jide.
based on what my line
Hello.
manager is asking, I'll then click on conditional column. So a dialog box will also appear before me. Say, you want to add a conditional column? I said yes. He said, okay. Add a conditional column that is computed from other columns of value. I said yes. That's okay. Since it's another column.
Hello,
give it a
Mr.
name.
JJ. Someone has a question.
Oh, thank you. You will have helped me read the question. Sorry. Password.
No,
Sorry,
I think
Isaac,
he
you are
wanted
saying-
to he wanted to speak out.
Yes,
The person
yes,
wanted to
it's
speak
me.
out. All right, you
Okay,
can
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
Isaac.
please.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac. So well done, Jide. Please,
Thank you.
my question is, are we saying Excel is not as smart as what Query is doing presently? Because I can see the similarities, I can see some things I can still do on Excel. Where does that line draw?
Excel is smart, nice, and lovely. I can tell you that Excel gave me my first big breakthrough then. You know, when I say first big, that means many other things have happened, right? Now, but Excel, in terms of volume of transaction, the capacity of Excel, you know, we have treated that, but in case, just to show you this. This is to Victor. No, you can leave your mic on, it's intentional. Victor, please, because you're about to answer one question. Does Excel, let me put it that way, does Excel have limit and end in terms of volume of transaction? In case it's not clear, I will rephrase it. Do you think Excel has limits?
It has. I don't think there is infinite.
What's the limit?
1 million.
I don't have that number.
1 million.
Take a look, don't worry. Victor, take a look. I'll do control arrow down. Look at it. I just did control arrow down, control arrow will bring me up. Control arrow down.
1 million.
Anything that is more than this, in short, not to exaggerate, right? If it takes this, I tell you, your laptop might crash.
Crash.
Do you understand? So,
okay.
But this is just to you, Victor. In terms of volume of transaction, Excel also has limitation. If you are working in a bank and you need to analyze, let's say for that day, it is 3 million transactions. I'm sure, my brother, you don't want to call on this guy, right? Victor, let me know.
Crash. So that's
yeah, definitely.
Okay, but Excel, of course, I can load it. That's why when you saw the other time that I can actually load. When we did something and we say close and load, I just didn't want to, because I want to focus. We can say when I have 300 million transactions, right? I could actually work from Excel Power Query. You know, we're also in Power Query. So Power Query, we now say when you are done, instead of close and apply, close and load, where do you want me to load it? I can say because it's too big for Excel to accommodate, please load it to what we call the data model. You can store it there for me. If it is in data model, I can actually use Power BI to also connect to data model and take it. Or another application that can take volume of transactions. But Excel is smart. Excel is lovely. You can do practically everything. But let me tell you something. Excel has been before Power BI. As the world is changing, new things are happening, new things are evolving, new things are coming up. So Power BI is enhanced to deal with massive stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we have cloud storage. This is just Power BI desktop. there is ecosystem. I will answer you shortly, Uduak. There is ecosystem of Power BI. There is Power BI on your phone. This one that we are treating now is the Power BI on the desktop. There is also Power BI in the cloud. But just know that Excel is also fantastic, lovely. If you have SME that you know that, of course, you are still doing something in Excel, you are fine. You are fine. Let me know if I answered you in a way. Let me know if even I answered you correctly, or is that what I'm asking for?
Okay, thank you. I think what I can get from what you're saying is the limit that is applied to Excel. That's what brings the limitation for it.
Okay, but you know that Excel also has Power Query. That's the same environment you are seeing now. So everything I am doing here can also be done in Power Query of Excel. Everything that I'm doing right now, you will be able to do it conveniently in Excel. The code, everything, you can write code in Power Query Editor because they are the same thing. Uduak, your hand was up. You have the floor. Oh, your hand is still up. So Uduak, please go ahead.
Thank you, Jide.
Okay. Thank you so far. So my question is this.
Your mic is low. Is it from my end?
Can you hear me now?
It's better a bit. Go ahead, please.
So thank you. So,
it's not very clear. You might want to come closer.
Can you hear me now?
It's better. Go ahead, please.
Is it, for example, now I saw that you've done the calculation of the two terms, and then you're about to do conditional formatting and the rest. So is it possible that, okay, I'm trying to give you a very good question so that it won't sound confused.
Is it possible that what?
Okay, so one of you are connected to a database, and the data you're collecting is live, and then you've done a form that is calculating continuously. Now, is it possible for you to do an automation whereby, let's say your supervisor wants to know the total amount of sales per week? Is it possible for you to tell Excel or Power BI to be sending a mail after each calculation?
To be sending a mail?
Yes.
Okay, so I like that. You don't need to send a mail because it is automated. Now that you're asking for more, and don't worry, this class will continue as long as we have. So, so there's what we call, in order to answer him, please, everyone, just to ensure, you know, I said no stupid question. So, this is recorded live, right? So that will expose, Isaac knows this as some people, right? Let's say a company employs you as a data analyst. And what they expect you is to do all of this work. And that as things are now changing, they want to be receiving notifications as the transaction sales. That's what they are asking, right? Just to be sure, to put it in that way.
Yes.
Good, Uduak, you don't need to send any mail. There's what we call workspace. I'm laughing and saying this. So you need to create a workspace where you will need to add those people that want to be receiving notifications. When this report is ready, you will need to publish it to that workspace that you have added them. You also need to subscribe them. What do I mean? It's not that we are not doing it now, because if I begin to do that, we have not even created reports. So when you subscribe them to it, don't worry. It is email, right? They will be getting that notification per frequency. If they say every 1 hour, don't worry. They would be getting update every one hour. Let me know if I answered you correctly.
Thank you. You have. Well, maybe if you have time, you can show practically creating that workspace.
Exactly.
And subscribing.
If you have time, you demonstrate it for us.
If you say I should demonstrate, you said sometimes. Okay, let me demonstrate for you.
No, let's create the report first.
I can't. Don't worry. Let me.
Mr.
demonstrate.
Jide, you know, like you said,
it's fine. I will demonstrate.
We need to take it a step further.
Because you have not even.
Probably it shouldn't be for this class.
Has not been.
But it
you have
be
not
for
created
next class or something. Because that will take time a bit.
V said it is support.
Let's create the report first.
because even creating reports takes a lot of time. But do not worry.
You guys are even diverting us. We are still on this our basic Excel. Mr.
You get the point. We have not done one thing. That's what I'm saying.
We've
Don't
not done
worry.
our
For
basic. You guys are
subsequent
carrying us
classes.
into Power BI and all.
Please don't worry. I'm not doing.
That's why I said let's just focus on this class. So you know you've not. We need to download.
Everyone, I can guarantee you, right? It's a step.
For now,
V,
it
I would like
well.
you and Udrak to understand something. Udrak want this report to be available. Even the report is not ready yet. So if you say I should demonstrate it, I will only be demonstrating a plan. Because the report that the line manager wants to be getting update is not ready. V, let me know if you understand, if it's clearer to you.
I understand you. I understand this, sir.
Okay, thank you. So don't worry, I promise to give my time to do all this to that point. But it's not done in a day. You are still learning this one before you can now automate. So thank you, everyone. It is nice you are asking questions. Fantastic. So I hope we can continue with the condition. Please, if there is noise around you, you can mute your mic. Now, can I proceed with conditional column?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll click on conditional column. Please, if there is noise around you, can help us mute the mic. So, okay, just a moment. I need to, because you know this is recorded, it's going to reflect in the, so I'm going to mute it, baby. I just did. Now, when you click on this one, this would show. So let me call it sales status. It's just a name, or profitability status, or let me just say sales status. It's just a name for now, right? Status. Now, do not worry. All you need to do is to just follow this because it is based on condition. That is why if is starting it. If is saying, okay, this is saying if what? It says select the column. My line manager said if total sales, and total sales is the column. If total sales or any total sales that is from 0 to 500 is fair. Any other sales above that is good. Then after this if that has been automatically positioned there, I'll select the column in question to say, okay, the column is total sales, and I'll select it. I just did. Operator is not saying, what kind of operation do you want to perform? Is it when total sales is equal to something? My line manager didn't say that. He said from 0 to 500. Please, what do you think I should pick from here? Just to make sure this class is interactive. What do you think I should pick?
Less than or equal to 500.
Okay. Yes, less than or equal to.
So less than or equal to, then if I type 500 here, and my line manager said that it is a fair deal of sales, I could add more clause if he's saying if there are more conditions. Don't worry, this is as simple as you see it. But he said I could also add another clause though and still passing. But since it's just one, I may not want to waste time. Anything outside of this, anything more than 500, he said it is good. I will just say good. What you are seeing now, if I want to write the expression in formula, I would have said if total sales is less or equal to 500, fair, comma, else, good. If I say okay now, there is a column that has been added. You can see it. I also need to change the data type. Remember when we started, we said numbers must go to the right and text will be on the left. Let me change the data type first, which is this column. I'll select text because it's not alphanumeric. So when I select text, it's just to let Power BI know what that thing is supposed to be, the right thing. If I drop down, you cannot see more than good and fair. Don't worry, Power BI knows what he has done. He has used, you can see, take a look. He said that you did a conditional column based on this, and you call the status. He knows that there is a condition. I hope I have answered. I'm sure I've answered because 5 people requested for custom column and conditional column, and I've just demonstrated this. Now, before we proceed, we have a lot of. So let me say, okay, let's say that is all that we need, right? Let me rename this table. I do not want it as table 1. Let's say this is sales report. Let's just say this is sales report. And I press enter. Now, let's say everything is fine, everything is ready. I'll stay on Home tab, and I'll say close and apply. When I say close and apply, it's going to close this environment. That means we are done in the kitchen, right? I just minimize so that you see. It will now load it. You're already seeing that there are pending changes in your query. It knows that there is an operation going on in Power Query environment, so it's waiting for it to be loaded. So all I need to do is to say close and apply. You will not click on close. If you click on close, you will only close this and not apply every step, everything that you have done. Remember, applied steps. That's why you see close and apply. So I'll go with close and apply. Then it's going to show that it's loading. It will be loading what is from that kitchen, and Power BI is so smart that it's doing something behind the scene that you do not know. So it's loading it here, loading data to model. It's going to do estimation right now. You can see it's will evaluate, and can you see 15 rows? It's already giving you the statistics of everything, and the table is ready. The next thing is saying build visual with your data. Now, I will expand this table. You can see anytime you want to build visual, let me minimize this. These are the visualizations. You call it charts in Excel. They are visuals. So you must also understand the visuals you want to use. I'm looking at the time because we still have a lot. Of course, we are doing this today and on the 29th. So wherever we stop, we continue from there. But what is important is we all understand what we are doing, as long as you can pick value for this. So this is to support the community. This is not for money. This is absolutely free, please. All right. Now, you can see all of this. Let's say my line manager, so depending on what, I just want to visualize some things, right? Let's say, okay, let me see our channel. Watch. Immediately I click on channel. I didn't even choose anything. Power BI is already showing some things for me, but I'm going to remove it. Let's say I don't even know what to do, and I want to be asking questions. I want to answer business questions. Let me collapse this to make it bigger. I can just double click this canvas. When I double click around this place, something will show. It's preparing question. I want to be using question to solve what I want to do. And I want everyone to follow. I'm making it bigger so that we can all see it, right? He said, ask a question about your data. Please, can I proceed? Let me just get a prompt response, please. We have a lot of things to do, just to be sure that I'm still fine.
Please, how did you get to this question and answer? Is it just by double clicking?
I like that. Let me show. Can you see something called Kiane? Can you see my cursor?
Yes, I can.
It's there. If I go to Insert tab, can you also see Q&A here?
Yes.
Power BI is so friendly that one thing is positioned in several places. I show you 2 places. If I double click here now, Q&A will also answer me. I hope I answered you correctly.
Oh, yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay. Now I just increased it to make it bigger. So I don't know what to do, but Power BI is ready to help me because there is artificial intelligence embedded in this. You say, ask any question about it. You watch. I want to say, what is, I'll just be typing, what is our total sales? I've not finished, something is showing. You'll see, total sales. I'm not even, like, I'm still continuing. It's already showing me. I only say, what is our total sales? And it's showing me the total sales without me, like, that's our total sales. But I want to continue. By channel. He's already distributing the stuff by channel. And I didn't even ask him to help me put it this way. He's already doing this as a bar chart. And I say, let me continue. As pie, I've not even finished pie charts. This is what we call time intelligence. I mean, this is what we call artificial intelligence. Now, let's say I really don't need that pie chart. Maybe I just need it as this. I use Q&A. I can say this is fine. Thank you. I want you to convert this Q&A to a standard visual. I only use Q&A to ask questions. But because he has now shown a visual and I want this visual, I like it. I will now click on this. When I click on this, it is no longer Q&A. It is now a visual. Let's say this is one of the things my line manager asks me for. What you are seeing right now is the contribution of, I'll put data label shortly so that you can see the figure at once. I select the visual and I come to format. When we do the class proper, like from beginning, you understand this. The point is so that at a glance, they can see the contribution. Oh, store is giving us this. Online is giving us this. We are generating these sales from reseller, and this is what catalog give us. I hope this makes sense to you. Can I proceed?
Can I ask a question?
Is there a question?
Yeah, what will be is that by using the Q&A, you don't have to choose the chart you want to use individually. You can just be asking questions and it will be
I like that. Are you saying you like Q&A, right?
Of course.
It makes like easy,
Sometimes
right?
it's difficult to choose chart, you know.
Can you imagine? It's difficult to choose that. So that's what I'm saying, that Fabia is so friendly that even if you don't know, you get the point. Use Q&A. Q&A will help you. But I'm not saying, I don't want to say Q&A is a lazy man approach. But of course,
please
start
now
from
try
there.
sir, please, the Q&A,
It's
can
better.
you repeat it again?
I'll use it to answer another question now.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Mr. Jide.
Yes, please.
You know, when it comes to what's the name again? Channeling. Try to channel word for words. Do you feel at some point, I feel that at some point Q&L will be limited because you need to channel to draw. Is it channeling now? I'm sure I'm saying the right thing.
You need to know the appropriate visual that will deliver the message. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you want to?
Kind of. Probably when I get the question right, I'll return back to you.
Okay.
It may be on the platform as well. But I'm trying to get the name of this thing because and when I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
modeling. It's modeling. I wanted to say yes, modeling. Now the point of modeling. Yes.
Yeah.
So do you feel Q&L will work? Because at some point when you upload data and your modeling is not correct, because I know you once said we need to model the right channel to get the better results. Yeah, so at the point of that modeling, so let not look as if you're doing something and you feel you're doing it, but you're not getting it because Q&L may not be smart enough to channel what you want.
I know what you mean.
Okay, sir.
You are correct. It's just because this class, is focused. So the day we'll be doing modeling, we'll focus on modeling so that we can talk about synonyms, so that you get, I know what you mean. So,
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think it's asking the right question. But of course, everyone's just to say, if you are to do it, we can't do everything in one day. But you understand that when you're asking some questions in Q&A, they may not appear because you have not named your columns correctly. If you don't do all those proper metadata or proper naming, you will not be able, Q&A will not, just look at this. Take a look at this so that you understand the angle Isaac is coming from. Now watch, I want to bring up another Q&A. So you already know I can just double click, right? Let me increase this in a bit so that you can see it. Watch this. Q&A will not know this. I'll say, I could type it in a long sentence, but let me not. I just want to say total quantity. Can we see? This is exactly what Isaac is saying. Can someone read this so that you understand? Please, kindly read this.
We need
your
your question.
Try and fix the double understand terms.
There's
Or
no even
ask-
double underline anyway. Just for you to
so,
know.
yeah, ask another way.
For everyone, do you know that there is quantity, right? Is there quantity on this table? Just to be sure.
Yes.
Yes, there
How
is.
did we get total sales? How did we get total sales? There is no. But Power BI did not know that QTY is also known as quantity. Then you need to tell Power BI that, oh, I'm sorry, I should have named it correctly. You are smart enough to be helping me, but this time you get stuck. It's my fault. Let me tell you that quantity is also, like QTY is also quantity. Don't worry, when we do the detailed class, you would understand, because we need to spend a lot of time modeling. Now, I will say other QTY, when I click, there is a dialog box. I mean, there is a pen that is open, properties pen. I'll say, okay, in this place, this other QTY, take a look at this. If I scroll, I need to say this name. What else can we call other QTY? Can you see? I could actually rename it, but there's what we call synonyms. So when we come to when we get there, I would explain. So I could say, okay, other QTY is also known as quantity, but let me just change the name for you, right? To say quantity, and press enter. So I don't really need to comment to have changed it, right? I could change it anywhere. But when we are modeling, you want to come to modeling, model view. This is model view. So when I go back now and type now, so total, it could be lowercase or anyone, just a moment. Total quantity. And I press total that quantity. Do we understand, please? Please, do we understand? Is it clear, please? Just be sure. I hope my internet is fine.
Very well.
Okay. So this is exactly what he's saying. Now, but I don't need that. Let me remove this. Oh no, let me remove this question and answer. Maybe I should answer this on another. No, let me answer it here. Someone said I should repeat the Q&A again. So who is the person? Because I'm about to answer you.
I did.
Thank you. Now watch. I want to know our sales across the states. I want to know what each state is giving us. Watch. I'll say, I could write a long sentence, but I don't want to. I just want to limit it to say total sales by states. Immediately I type that. It's already telling me. It's showing this, but I want to say no. Don't show it. I want you to show it on a map. I'll continue. This is using Q&A. If I already know what I want to use, I can just choose them. But V like this one too. He likes Q&A. So I'll say by state as map. When I say map, it's going to visualize this on map of the, once it sees address, it will use the address to quickly get the map of the place. It could be anywhere. So is, of course, you will need to be on internet to get that. So do not worry, it is going to show. Can you see it coming up? Who requested for this? It's going to come up, don't worry, it's still working. It will show it fully. Let me know if I answered you.
Yes,
Someone
you did. Thank you
requested for
very
Q&A.
much.
Okay, so you can see, the bigger the box, the volume of sales for that state. So I could say, okay, thank you. I need this. My line manager is interested in this. I can convert this to map. It's no longer Q&A. It's now very clear and visible. So management will see what they are doing, their coverage area, and all of that. So if I don't want this ball, maybe I want to talk about
Sorry,
coverage.
where
If
did
I
you click to
use,
confirm? Sorry, where did you click to confirm that you want it? You actually click something before it.
oh, unless I ask again so that you can see it. Let me remove this. So take a look. Anytime you ask your question, look at this. Turn this
Okay.
Q&A result into a standard. Exactly. I hope you are fine now.
Yes, yes, okay. So once you
Total
are
sales.
comfortable with the visual, you just click there and it populates, it states, right?
Yes, this is by state as map. I'm trying to do this again so that you can see.
Okay.
So this is
okay.
what I want, right? And I said it's still Q&A. You can still see it's still Q&A, but I want to convert it that he has answered me. So he's helping me. Can you see turn? Once I click, it's just to
Yeah.
click, and that's all.
Okay. Okay,
That's
that's
all.
fine. Thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
it shows this, you're welcome. So if I say flat, if you see this one fill, this one will show in a way. So this one, in case you want to, it depends on the concept. You also need to understand. Now, let's say you're my line manager and I'm presenting this to you. You know what this means? Can someone try to understand what this map is actually saying? I'll be glad if someone can actually understand what this map is saying. But don't worry, maybe I should just go ahead. It's just telling you your visibility, your coverage. That means there are some, if you see that, just say, let's say you are the sales director and you are telling the boardroom directors that, I mean, you are telling the CEOs and all the stakeholders that, sir, we have covered everywhere. We are everywhere. Please, are we everywhere? I need someone to respond just to be sure.
No, we are not.
everywhere.
We are not
So
everywhere.
because you also need to understand how you should also use a visual. If I'm going to talk about our coverage, our visibility, I can begin to say that, and there is a problem. Can you see? Adamawa State is supposed to be in Nigeria. You are now referring to the one in Cameroon, then there is a problem. I like this. Now, because in Cameroon, there's also Adamawa. So this data need to be reclaimed. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I'll take it back to the kitchen. You know that if you bake a cake and your customer returns the cake to say, you are supposed to do L, you did 7 because they look similar. So the shape is supposed to be L, but you get the point. Then you can take it back to the kitchen and readjust the shape. So I'll take it back to the kitchen and say, oh, the way this thing is, there's a problem. Watch what I'm about to do. I'll go to, anyway, I just want you to see it. I don't need to go there, but just for you to see, right? I want to go to where we have states. Where is state? Good, see state. I want to be able to say Imo State, Delta State, Kwara State, so that state can reflect that it's within Nigeria. I'll go to add columns and say, let me use this one this time, column from example. I could use custom column. But so that everything doesn't look difficult, it looks very simple to you. I will then say that this column, I can leave it for now. I will do something when I'm ready. That follow the example. Can you see enter sample value to create a new column? When you enter that sample value, I will help you. It's just that this thing is not detailed, but it's going to help you. I will say Imo. I'm just typing. I didn't do anything. Like I'm just typing right now. Imo State. I will enter. Can you see what he has done? Can I proceed? Do we understand this?
Yes, we do.
Every other thing except what I type is bold, but everything is like flash. I can say, yes, you got it. That's why I say enter sample. If everything is fine, I will check. I'll say, okay. So when I say, okay, right? I really don't need this again. I'll take this out. You already know how to remove. I can just right click. All these things at the top too, they are also on the right click. So if I right click now, I will also see remove everything, right? I want this one to be removed. I can then name this state because you can't have 2 columns with the same name, state. Then I say enter. Now that I have done something, I must say close and apply the changes I have made. It might prompt me to say it will affect some visuals that you have created before. I don't mind. Now watch. I didn't do any other thing. It's far better that I did this. I only did the changes. Anyways, do we understand? Can we see the changes, right?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So now I can then say, okay, this is our coverage. So the manager will now say that, okay, so we don't have branches in all of this. Then they can now strategize to say, how do we ensure we cover? That is what this is saying. Let me copy this, Control C, then Control V. And now change this, right? To this one. This is saying another thing. They are the same thing in a way, but this is not talking about the figure you are making. This is talking about coverage. If you are going to use this to explain to the management, but this is now laying focus to let you see. I hope we understand the concept, because as a data analyst, right, what they are paying you for is the insights. Anyone can do a visual. Let me know if this makes sense to you, please.
Yes, it does.
Does it make sense, please?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Now, you have said that we use Q&A to generate all of this. Is there a question? Okay. Now, sorry, someone is trying to say something about your mic in case you want to drop a chat. Your mic is not clear. You might drop a chat. Udwak, you can drop a message. All right. Now, if this is clear, we can go on and on, right? We can go on and on and on and create a lot of things from what they are saying. But I have been able to answer all the questions, and I've also been able to visualize just for you to see. Any questions so far based on what we have achieved today? Any questions? Ebele, is there
I have a question, but I was thinking of leaving it when you're done, probably not to interrupt the class.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, on the front page, or on the home page of my own sheet, when I imported the Excel into the Power BI, I can only see on the home page the file, home, help, and toolbar.
Do you mind sharing your screen?
Yes.
Let me know.
No
Do you want
problem.
to share your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll stop sharing so that you can share your screen. I just stop sharing now. Kindly share your screen, please.
Okay.
So while I'm waiting for Chidike to share his screen, Udwak is asking, thank you, Mr. Jide. Thank you for this opportunity. Can this be done with local government in Nigeria? Maybe what they're asking, can you pick up local government data and analyze? If that is what they're asking, yes. Just like we got data from the website to say Nigerian population by state, you can connect Power BI to get data from the website that has information about the local government. But if you also have the document that has local government on a piece of paper, you can also get, Power BI will also get data from that. Maximize it your screen, maximize your power. I'm looking at Chidike screen. So Power BI can also get data from PDF. No, Chidike, your screen was good. I'm just saying maximize your Power BI. You can reshare. Then you're asking, can Excel and Power BI sync with Google Map? When you say Google Map, you can get data from anywhere, right? All you need is the URL for that. It is going to, you'll be amazed what you will get. I'm sure because you saw map now. Yes, that is the correct answer. Chidike, go ahead.
Yes.
Your screen looks like half. I don't know if there is a delay. But what are you trying to tell
Is
me?
it
Please
half?
tell me.
Okay. On the home page now, I don't know whether you're seeing what I'm trying to explain. I have
Maximize
the
your
file.
screen. Before you click
I've,
on the X, look at the top corner. Click that so that this thing becomes bigger. Maybe class
I've,
can
max,
let me know if it's only from my end. It's
I've
like
maximized
reduced
it.
to half.
I maximized
If
it
you have
earlier.
maximized it, I hope it's not internet because there is. Anyways, if that is okay, I need.
Can you see it?
No, it's not Power BI. You are you are increasing it that way. I would have loved that. Okay, it's fine. Let's work with it. If that is how you want to maximize.
Is it okay? Like
So tell
earlier,
me what you
I
need me to do.
maximized this to the full, and you said you were not saying it, so I had to
Okay,
reduce
it's
and
fine.
expand.
No problem. So what do you want me to see, please? Tell me.
At the top, I can only see my file, home page, help, table tools, and column tools.
Take your cursor to your left. You know there are 3 icons on your left. Over your cursor on the first icon, you will see report view.
Yeah, report view.
Click on report view. When you click on it, you would have just like my screen. Let me know if you have done it. There is a delay. I think
I'm
that
on
your
report
network
view.
or something.
I'm on report view.
Okay,
already.
Class, I need someone or Isaac, anybody. Can I get a response that I'm seeing the same thing with us? Just to be sure.
He's
Okay,
on
you
report
just
view. I
told me. I
can
need
see
a
his screen.
response.
I can see his
I
screen.
can see his screen,
Jide.
but it's the size.
Yeah.
Look at it. You have zoomed to 19. Take a look to your bottom right. You will see plus and
Yeah,
minus. Click on the plus. Because you
Yeah,
have
I've done
reduced
that.
the size of your screen.
Yeah, I'm 100
it's better
now.
now.
Is it
And so,
okay?
no, it's good that it's at the middle, not 100.
Yeah, 100 is
Because
at the
it's all
middle.
about. But you can, maybe you want to reduce a bit. Those lines, you can reduce. You don't have to scroll. You know why it's like that? But since you said you have maximized, the way your screen is, that's why the thing just reduced. So reduce the size a bit such that you don't see scroller by the side, nor at the bottom. Have you done that? Just confirm to me. So
yeah.
So what are you now asking me? That's what you're asking. I guess that's what you're asking for, right?
No, that's not what I'm asking now. On the normal home page or on the top where you have your file, home, insert, modeling, view, optimize, help, there are some of the buttons I can't find that is on your own when I was trying to follow through in the class. You know, normally when you open an Excel, for instance, when you open an Excel.
No, just a moment. Your mic is, but if you say some buttons are on my own, maybe because I have some things more than you, because I've been working on this and you get the point. So if you open your Excel and it's not looking like my own, it's because this is what I do for a living. So there are some other applications that I've added that you have not added. I hope you understand. Look at it.
Yeah, that was why I was not able to get the custom. No,
you can get to custom. You can actually get to custom. So do you want to visualize that? Someone's mic is on. Please, can you help us with this? Because it's recorded. Someone's phone. Can you please? Is it from your end, Chibike or Ebele? Let me meet Ebele.
No, it's not from my end. I'm in a quiet
it's Ebele. Please, when you leave your mic on, help us check. Right. So, Chibike, please, what do you need me to do? Just talk to me, then I will understand.
How do I add additional?
You want everything on my own screen to be on your own?
Yeah, how do I add those additional features on the home screen? Where do I get them?
When you say
for instance, if you are working on an Excel and you want to add some data buttons like
is it Excel you want to show me or Power
No,
BI?
no, I'm on
If
the
it's
Power
Excel, then you
BI.
can launch
I
it.
imported the cells in the cells sheet we are working on into the Power BI app. That's where
Okay,
I am.
take a look to your right, please. You'll
My
see
right.
a table called sales, right? Expand the sales. There is an arrow in front of that name called sales. If you
Yes.
click on the arrow, it's going to expand some things.
Yes.
But we actually did not even check. We were just using Q&A. Don't worry. That means it's either your internet was not fine when I was doing that, because we really did not expand. We only leverage on Q&A. All right. Is this okay? Don't worry. Just double click on your screen and wait for me. When you double click, you'll see something like Q&A. Then you can type in the Q&A. Double click once on your screen.
Double click, okay.
When you double click on that, your screen is something showing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
need
there's
you.
a dialog
What
box.
is showing?
There is a dialog box that just came up. Oh. Q&A setup.
No, you're not with me. Please cancel. Please click on X, you're right at the top.
Yes, I've closed that. Okay, there is a small dialog box that has a help.
Don't worry, please
Add
you just
synonyms
cancel.
now. I've canceled that one.
Please do not worry. And just wait. So don't worry, just take a look at my screen from here. I think it's fine. Once I share my screen, you would understand we're on the same page. You can stop sharing. When I share my screen now, you will understand. I'll stay on a blank page. So Chidike.
Yes.
Your own is like this, right?
Yes.
All right. All I did was to double click in the middle of this place. But I may not want to double click. Look at Q&A. If I click, it would also show. So look at my cursor. I just click on Q&A and something is showing here.
Yes.
We use this Q&A to do everything you were asking for. You said my screen is like this.
Okay. Don't worry, Jide.
So
Jide,
we use
now
the Q&A.
Jide, can you hear me?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I've gotten the buttons I was looking for. It has come up. It's not on inner cell that I'm working on. If at your top where you home inside external tools format that drill. The top of the home page. Before I was not.
You won't have what
buttons.
Okay. Okay, because if you say external tools, it's because I have something that. Okay, but you are fine now, right?
Yes, it has come up on my own.
Chibike, let me know if you are fine. Don't worry. Are you fine
yes,
now?
Yes. Yes, I'm fine now.
Thank you. Thank you. Because if you are talking about external tools, you don't have Dark Studio. Don't worry about that. Except you are an advanced guy. So please don't worry about something that I will have that you don't have. But this is the basic environment. So everyone, I hope we are fine. Any questions so far? Can we still do one more thing? Do you think we should do one more thing? Or let me put it this way.
Excuse me, please.
Yes, Udak, you're saying something. V, you're saying something, right? Tell me.
Yes, I just wanted to ask you got back to the Power Query when you wanted to correct the state when it was in Cameroon, you brought it back to Nigeria. I want to see how you got back to the Power Query.
You have corrected that in Power Query.
No, I know. I just wanted to see where you clicked in the Power BI that got you back to the Power Query.
Oh, you have to say close and apply. Okay, see this one.
Transform data. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Anytime you want to go back to Power Query, so if I click on transform data, it's going to just take me here. So when I'm done with everything, I'll now say close and apply. But because I didn't do anything now, I can just say close. Hope you are fine.
So, Mr. Jide, I'm okay. There is something I wanted to ask if you can help us. Because when I look at the the
Your
job, the
mic is
JD of
also
many.
not okay. Is it V that is talking? I thought it's Chidike. Go ahead, V.
Yeah, when I look at the job description of many adverts, it's not only about the technical skills, you know, they still want us to like develop the business skills to be able to interpret and present results, report. So as the class continues subsequently, I think if you can help us bring it up as a topic, you know, just a suggestion though.
No, you are fine. That is noted. You get the point. This is noted. And I can assure you that, you know, we can't learn everything in a day. But what we are
Yeah,
trying
of
to
course.
do is, because some people, there were a lot of questions. It won't be, you know, when we started, right? Some people have dropped some questions that I've not attended to, and is affecting their deadlines. So reason why we put all of this in today's stuff. So, but do not worry, everything that is needed to make us better, of course, we will pull that, we'll add that into it. I'm sure that a lot of people are happy today because this is one of the things that concerns them at work. And of course, they can leverage on the knowledge they have gotten here today to be able to do that. So, V, I hope you are fine.
Yeah, I'm clear. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? I would have loved to do one more thing. If you permit me, we have 10 minutes. Can I do something in 10 minutes? Is that fine?
You can
Or
go
should
on.
we
We are
stop here?
still available.
Okay, thank you. So
Carry on.
watch what I'm about to do. What we have just done now is that's the end. I don't really need it. So, but permit me to go to Power Query. You know what? Before I go, let me remove this page. I really don't need this. Delete. I don't want to open a new one. I'll just go to Power Query. I want to delete the table. I also don't need it. Instead of opening a new one, right? I want to use as if this is the new one. So I'm going to get something from here. We've answered this one. Now, watch what I'm about to do. There is this document. So that means that we have done this, we have done this. So, oh, okay, we'll do this next class. So let me quickly open this because this is one concern for someone. Now, let's say you are getting the data from PDF. This is coming from PDF. Take a look at this. There are two columns. There is customer ID as a column, and there is also customer name as another column. But if you look, you will see that this is 18 pages. What they're seeing is 1 of 18. So I'm going to scroll down a bit. Remember, there is column ID as the header and customer name as the header. So I'm going to scroll down a bit. I need you to observe something. When I move to second page, can you see the header? When I move to third page, are you seeing any header, please?
No header.
No. Yes. 3 out of 18. Yeah.
There's no header. But when you have PDF, PDF is broken. The table in PDF will break. If this is in Excel, it won't break. There won't be page 1, page something. But this has broken. So we want to actually bring this because we need to analyze this in Power BI. We need to analyze, create a report. So my line manager just said the data is the PDF and he sent it to me. How will I be able to bring it into Power BI and analyze it? I'm going to close this. I call this customer. Now, I'll go to Power BI and say, okay, since I'm also in Power Query, I don't need to go to Power BI. Remember, Power Query is the kitchen of Power BI, right? But I want you to see something. That's why I'm doing it this way. This news source here is the same thing as get data. News source in Power Query is the same thing as get data in Power BI Desktop. So if I drop down news source, can you see it's also like listing the data source? Okay, so thank you. Just want to show that to you. I'll maximize now. So I'll say news source. It's not saying where am I going to? I'm not going to any of this. PDF. Can you help me locate PDF? He said yes. If you want me to locate PDF, click on more. I just did, and I'll wait for something to show that will allow me to be able to see other sources. Now, can you see? I'll just double click now, that is PDF. It's going to take me to, and it's seeing it, right? It brought me to my laptop. I've double clicked, then it's going to load. You will also see 18 tables because when you check it in PDF, you saw it. Now, how are we going to select multiple tables at once? Click on the first one. Hold down Shift key, click on the last one. If you have 200 tables, select the first one, hold down Shift key, go and select the last one. Then select the last one again. That's all. Because I'm in Power Query, I'm already in the place to transform data. I'll just say OK. Now, all the 18 tables will be loaded there now. But they are supposed to come as one because it's actually one table. But because it is coming from PDF, it has been broken to 18 pages. So when I also load it into Power Query would also return 18 pages because that is what it could see. But I need to bring it together as one, like it is one table. The reason it is one table is because you're also not seeing the header when we show other pages in PDF. So you'll see 18 tables now. I don't want you to miss this, though it's recorded. You will see that if I click on this, take a look. Oh, I shouldn't have closed it. You know what? Let me open it in PDF so that it makes sense when you compare it now. Take a look. You know, we said that. Okay, let me close this one behind. I always like that everything is clear to you. Good. Now watch. When we look at it in PDF, this is the PDF, it's 2 columns. How come when I now load it into Power BI or Power Query, it's not showing 3 columns? Can you see C1000 Jesse Evans? It's supposed to be on the same column. But now, Jesse Evans has broken into 2. It's not only Jesse Evans. Do we understand? Let me know if you understand. This is me being detailed to show this side by side. Do you understand, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I need to ensure that it comes together as 2 columns, regardless. Some will be 2, some could be 3, some, but all of these are supposed to be one table. That means table 1 to 18 is supposed to be 1. What will I do? Watch what I'm going to do. I need to ensure that they are 1 instead of 18 tables. If you look at where my cursor is, there is what we call append. And I will explain what this means. Remember that this is supposed to be a single table because they have the same information. They have the same information. How did I know? Take a look. I'm clicking the second table. I'm clicking the third. I'm clicking the fourth because they have the same information. So why should I have several tables for the same thing? Why can't I just join them together? Now, I now want to join them together because they have the same structure. I'll drop down append queries and I'll say there are 2 things. There is append query and there's append query as new. What does this really mean? I am standing on a table called table 001 page 1. If I choose append queries, every other table would come inside one, will be appended into this one. That is the meaning of our append queries. But if I say append query as new, this will open another table where all of these tables would come together. I hope that is clear. If I go with append queries, it will be written inside or appended inside the one I'm standing on at the moment. But if I go with append query as new, it's going to open a new table. So let me go with append query as new, please. Anyone, you can use either of the 2. You will get the same thing. Now, a dialog box is talking to you that you want to concatenate. Don't worry. Concatenate simply means join. You want to join rows. You know why it's saying it? Because this is supposed to come as one table. If I append them together, it will be joining under the rows in case that is not clear. Take a look. This one has 47 rows. If this is added to 47, this is also 47. That means 47 plus 47 will come together. This is also 47, right? This is also 47. This one, the last one is 3. So if you join everything together, it will now come together as one. That's meaning of when you append, you are adding to the rows of another table. So I'm going to say append query as new. And I would say it's not just 2 tables. It is 3 or more. I'll select 3 or more. Because I was standing on this, as at the time I clicked on this guy, this is already showing. I mean, say no, I can remove it, but maybe I want it, right? I could leave it. It's not saying add the table to append to this place from the available table. Will I be appending one by one by clicking on 2, 3? No. I can select this first one, hold down my shift key, scroll to the last, and select the last one. Can you see everything is selected? Can I proceed just to be sure you are seeing this? Can I go ahead, please?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Then I'll click on add. When I click on add, everything is there. Then I'll say okay. What you are seeing right now is that table 1 to 18 is already here. That's why you are now seeing 802. You know, we checked them 47, 47, 47, 47, and 3. So what you are seeing now is that means all of these tables are now joined together in one place. But when we check the PDF, it was showing 2 columns. Jesse Evans is a name of a person. Victor Ramos is the name of a person. So these 2 columns are supposed to come as one. How will I be able to do this? I'm going to select this. I will hold down Shift key and select this one. When I select these 2, I want them to come together as one. What will I do? I will right click on any of them, right? Anyone. There are 2, but I want to bring them together as one. When I right click now, from my right click, I will see merge columns. When I click on merge columns, a dialog box will show that you want to merge 2 columns. Can you choose how to merge the selected columns? Do you want something to separate Jesse and Evans? When you are bringing them together, I said yes. What should be? There should be a single space separating 2 names. Olajide Idowu, there should be a space. And I say, okay, choose space as the separator. When I say okay, we will not have 2 columns, we will have a single columns where these 2 comes together. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Do we understand? Is it clear?
But there's a yes, there okay, we are still
Is
clicking
it
the
clear,
data.
please?
Yeah, it's clear,
Sorry?
but I'm seeing like a question, a comma, or
A
an
question
hash.
mark,
And
arrow, so
I like that.
Yeah, the data
Yes,
is not
it's part
yet
of what I
clear.
want to treat. Yes. Now, but we now have 2 columns. In order to do this, I'm going to just write a line of code. But let me read English to you so that we can end the class. I'm going to write a line of code. You know what I want to do? Just like I think Chidike is one that said there are characters that do not make sense. I want Power Query to actually help me select only text that is alphabetic. Or let me put it this way. I only want alphabetical characters. I'll say it again. I want something from A to Z. So I want only alphabets to be extracted and not pick anything other than anything that is not from A to Z should not be added. Let me know if that is clear. Is it clear?
yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So I'll click on add columns. Because I can't be doing replace value. When we do the proper class, you understand what I mean. I'll say custom column. I want to clean this by adding a new column that would help me to make it look better. Watch what I'm going to do. I can leave the name for now because I've not used first to say that. I'll stay and say, Power Query said yes. I really need you to go to this column called merge. What do I want, or what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to go to the column and select any character that is from A to Z. Any other thing other than that, don't select them. That is what you should use to add another column. That's okay. In order to do that, there is a function called, I'll just type and something will show. Text dot select. 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 Can we see it? I'll pick it now just for you to see it. Now let me remove this. What this means is that help me select text in the reverse. Help me select text. So text.select simply means, can you see, select all occurrence of a given character. So I want this to help me select text. I hope this makes sense to you. because it's a function of open bracket. Now, because it's a function, it's now say, okay, where should I, don't worry, in case I'm just helping you to read it. What this means is that where should I select the text? That I say, okay, go to this column called merged. I can double click or click on and say insert. I've answered this one. I'll now put comma. The next thing that is both that what character should I select? That is the meaning of this. Let me know if this is clear before I proceed. I always ask this just to be sure.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's
Good. That means help me select text from a column called merged. When you get there, select what character, and I say, okay, I want you to select A to Z, but I can't be typing A, comma B, comma C, comma T, Z. No, that would be like, it's too stressful. Now, I will do this. There's a curly bracket you must put that will help you do that as a list. Just watch. I'll put curly bracket now. And then I will put shift quote and type A. The reason is anytime you are typing letters or alphabets, you need to put them in quotation. Then I'll say to what you are seeing right now, these two dots simply means A2. You can't type it like this. A2, you can't type it in this environment. It can't work. So A2, so you have to say dot dot. A2 what? Shift quote again, A to Z. What you are seeing now is that it will say A, B, C, D, T, Z. That is what you are seeing now. And that means help me select A to Z, anything that has alphabet from this column. If I close the quote, this curly one, and close this now, it's saying it's correct. Though if I press OK, all these characters will no longer be there, but Jason Evans will come together without space. But I don't want that to happen. But let me show you this first so that you understand what I mean. If I click on OK, can you see that those characters are no longer there? But there is no space separating them. And I want to ensure there is space separating two words. I can edit what I've done. How do you edit? If you put your cursor on this and click on it, the dialog box will come back to say, you want to edit something? I say yes. I can now say, okay, you know what? This one, don't close it here. You can see that, you know what? Let me bring my cursor back here so that you understand. He said, where and select character. And if there is anything you want me to use to separate them, that is the, oh, I'm touching it. I forgot that you can't see my hand. Because if I remove my cursor, this thing will disappear. Anyway, and that's it. Okay, when you also remove A to Z, though, don't stop there. Let that be a space. What I just done is to say, let that be a space. Meaning that only select A to Z, and when you are selecting, let that be a space separating two words. That's all. In case you need this, no, let me help you copy before I say okay. Control C, and paste it on Teams for you. In case you are doing the same thing with me, let me put it here. Then I'll say Control V. Then you have it. That's enter. Now I will minimize Teams.
Your screen is not showing.
It's because I came to drop something for you on Teams. Can you see my screen now?
Okay. All right. Yes.
I help you to drop this formula. Oh, I didn't even copy it correctly. There is still I didn't include. I'll say okay. When I say okay, you see one space separating each word. This is the correct thing. You can see that there is no more abnormal characters, right? I can then say use first to as header. Can you see? I'll go to Home tab. That column 1 merge something cannot be. But this first row is different compared to every other thing. I'll say, okay, please use first row. Can you see my cursor? Can I click on this so that you understand what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, where did you get this? Where did you get the use first row?
That's why I've been waiting. Look at where my cursor is on Home tab. Okay, let me
on the Home tab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. First row is supposed to be the header. Remember when I also show you in what do you call it now? In the PDF, you saw it. I can say, use first row as that. If I click on this, it will promote this one. But you can see I don't need this column again. I may not do this first. Anything you do, just ensure you do the right thing. I want to remove this one since it's no longer needed. I already have what I need. You already know what to do. You right click and remove this. I can change this one to customer name. But why should I change it when I already have the first one as the header? Because if I change it, I will need to remove this. Then I will now say, no, don't bother. Just use my first one as the header. Then I just click and I have this. I hope this makes sense to you. Any question, please? We have come to the end of the class today. Any question, please? See, you do not want to stretch us. Power Query is the fantastic cleaning tool when it comes to dirty data, I tell you. Does this make sense to you? I hope you have learned one or two things. Any reaction, comment, clarifications, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, this one you just did, the lady that asked a question in her interview, is there no way we could use a function to achieve the result she was asking for them? Because at the beginning of the class, a lady asked,
again. Yeah.
At the beginning, I said, is there any way we can use a function just the way you use test.select to achieve the result?
Of course, you know, I
she was
told her that
asking
she
for?
can also write a code that will bring what she needs. Yes. You know, I mentioned that. You know, it says she can use column from example. V, hope you remember.
You did.
And I also said, instead of stressing that,
did.
you can actually write a code. If you want me to write a code, just be prepared. You also need to understand the code before also writing. If I just help you do something and I don't explain in details, you will not also understand. I'm someone that I want you to understand. You know, that's why I'm saying select means select this. So if I'm going to use multiple, I'll say from the left or from the middle, pick 3 characters. If I combine all of this code, you would also, so you need to also understand the baby step. When you begin to understand that, which of course we'll be doing subsequently in the class, on your own, you would understand, you'll be able to interpret all this one that I just wrote that you are seeing in the formula bar. Okay, so if I come to advanced editor, how will you be able to understand this? How will you be able to understand all of this? You also need to know what is the meaning of table.combine columns. That means I want to combine columns. What is the meaning of table.add columns? And if I'm going to use it, how will I be able to write? What I just did that you saw, look at the code here. Look at the code, right? Table.add columns, which is, I don't want to, because of, I've also spent more time, you can see. If I begin to break this down, but just know that you can actually write a code as stated before. Let me know if I answered you correctly. Or are you saying I should do the code right now?
No, we can do it in subsequent classes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Any comment, any question, clarification, please? Victoria, go ahead, please.
No. I just wanted to ask, are we able to get the recording like today? Because I was following you, but I got distracted. And I just wanted to work on it by myself.
No problems. You would have it. You have it today.
Thank you.
Yes, you would have it today. Is there any other thing? Yes. Go. Okay,
Mr. Jide, if we want to get data, just like you explained, like because the ones you gave us as an example is like a population of a country by state. If we want to get like sales data, to create a report for sales, can we still get it online?
When you say sales data, it is when you are practicing that you should be getting data. But if you
that's what I'm asking. If you want to practice, if you want to practice individually, not working.
Yes, you could get data. There are data online. There are a lot, like there is cargo.com. There are a lot of data. There are a lot of platforms online that you can get data from. Let's say I want to, bring this up. So if I say if I say data set, or let me just type cargo. Cargo is owned by, you can say cargo data set. So if I click on this, it will say I should sign in or something. But just know there are a lot of data sets online. that you can download and pick. And if you have something on the web, just like we connected to it the other time, you can also get the URL of that thing. When you get the URL of that place, it would get it into Power BI. It will show you several tables. Then you can select the tables you want to work on. Let me know if I answered you correctly.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, you did. Thanks.
Okay. So, Bami Shai, Victor, any question? Chidike, Chioma, Isaac, Uduak, Lolo, any question, please? So if there are none, I could stop.
None for me.
No, sir.
I hope you learn one or two things, please.
Yes,
it's
very
and it was
impactful.
very
Thank you, sir.
interesting. Thank you. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir. Thank you very much.
So the next class, we would finish, we should be able to
Thank you, Mr.
finish.
Jude.
Thank you so much. So the next class will be able to, that's on the 29th, that's 9 days from now. So we'll be able to finish on this. Thank you. So thank you, everyone. I'll stop recording. This will be made available as soon as, thank you so much, Tosin. I get so much value. I'm happy to hear that